No matter what crime you're accused of, you still have rights. Let the law offices of O.C. Brown uphold them. Call 225-343-1111. Your law firm for a lifetime.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
Looking for the ultimate game day experience? Come to the Queen Casino in Baton Rouge. Savor game day platters and snacks, plus drink specials at 1717 Kitchen and Cocktail. So come out for game day and let our team make you the MVP. The Queen Casino, where every moment is a win.
SportsCenter.
I'm Christine Lisi. A significant change to NFL playoff seeding proposed by the Lions. Team with the best record in each conference, top overall seed. Then seeds 2 through 7 would be ordered strictly by record in the AFC and NFC. The Vikings moving past their discussions with free agent quarterback Aaron Rodgers. They've got J.J. McCarthy at the top of the depth chart. Minnesota could revisit Rodgers if he's unsigned, should McCarthy get hurt or show a need for more development time during summer practices. ESPN NFL analyst Booger McFarland.
I think it has nothing to do with Aaron Rodgers and more to do with J.J. McCarthy.
Okay.
I think everybody at this point knows what Aaron Rodgers is and what he's not and what he has a chance to be. I think if J.J.'s healthy, I think they feel really good about where J.J. can go.
Booger McFarland on Joe and Q. McCarthy has recovered from surgery on a torn MCL, an injury that sidelined him all of last season. Rodgers has standing offers from the Steelers and Giants. McNeese men's basketball coach Will Wade's agreed to become the next coach at NC State, reports ESPN's Jeff Borzello. His Cowboys face Clemson in the first round of the NCAA tournament tomorrow.
Hey, it's your resident Super Bowl champ, Chris Kennedy, coming up Thursday. I'll tell you how many games Aaron Rodgers, Russell Wilson, and Shedeur Sanders will start next season. It's Unsportsmanlike, weekday mornings at 6, right here on ESPN Radio, ESPN2, and ESPNU.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
Live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studio.
That's right.
And off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. It's AFR presented by Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness. I almost said Don White. Nope. I was gearing up for it. You could hear it, couldn't you, in my voice? I'm Matt.
Love you, Matt.
Paul O'Neill.
They're chanting Paul O'Neill's name.
News. And Mr. Toby Tomplay. All right, we're here. Glad you are as well. Get out there and make it a good one. Oh, by the way, it's a hump day. Hey.
It's hump day.
Oh, I'm feeling good.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
Will Wade back in the Power Four. Suck it, Pat 40, you big loser!
It's hump day.
How about our bud?
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
Going NC State. Pat 40.
It's hump day.
You know that gif?
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
Where the guy's leaning back and going, you mad? That's Pat 40 today. Come on, Muse, do better. Wait on it.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
Davon Godchaux in 12 minutes. Momma Scone!
It's hump day.
Do we think Mama Scone is going to nail the video chat component of today's interview?
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
Odds that Mama Scone is on time on video.
Hump day.
Can we get the Otter to lay odds?
It's hump day.
If anybody's got him, it's Jimmy.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
I'm going she's minus 375, no.
Hump day.
I was going to say, you're the expert on this one here. I mean,
It's hump day.
I was on the phone with her earlier. She's like, well, I've done Zoom before. Like,
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
I bet you have.
Hump day.
Well, it's going to come via StreamYard.
It's hump day.
That's going to really throw her off.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
All right, we got a ton to do. Let's get going here. A lot to do on today's show. Let us begin as we do every single day.
It's time to pop the top on another edition of AFR with Bud Light. Drink easy.
Well, by now you probably have seen the news. Our Bud is back in the big time. That's right, our Bud is back in the big time.
Thanks, Bud. I appreciate it.
Will Wade, he'll be the next head coach at NC State. I don't think this is any great surprise to any number of people. Wade was doing some media availability on Wednesday, confirmed that he had, in fact, spoken to NC State. Now, seemingly everyone is reporting that Wade will, in fact, become the head coach of the NC State Wolfpack. They fired Kevin Keats, I don't know, about 10, 11 days ago. Look, NC State just a year ago, remember, was in the Final Four. So less than a year removed from being in the Final Four, they fired Kevin Keats if they were 12-19 this season. And Will Wade was the apple of everyone's eye for very obvious reasons. He got caught up in a scandal that followed him during his entire time at LSU. If you remember the timeline, he was hired in 2017. The wiretap phone calls were in the summer of 2017. The reports came out soon thereafter. He was suspended in 2019, later reinstated conditionally, and then fired in March of 2022 after the NCAA levied the notice of allegations against Wade in the basketball program. So at that point, they fired Will Wade. We know what's happened since. Wade was out of basketball for a year, went back into coaching at McNeese, where he's been the last 2 years. He's gotten the Cowboys into the NCAA tournament each of the last 2 seasons, and he's a great coach. He's a great leader, and he's perfect for this era. The 5 years that he was at LSU were all under this cloak, under the shadow of this investigation. And ultimately, LSU sacrificed Will Wade to save the football program, which was the right call. I hear this all the time from LSU fans, and it's so short-sighted and just wrong that LSU, Scott Woodward, Tate, whoever, all blew the Will Wade situation. No, they didn't. And this isn't something I'm making up today. If you have the tolerance issue, you want to go back and hear the commentary I had 3 years ago when Wade was fired, or 5 years ago when he was suspended, or any of that stuff. You'll hear me say the same thing over and over. LSU football was under investigation because of the OLOL scandal with Vidal Alexander's dad and all that stuff. And despite the fact that LSU had cooperated fully with that football investigation and that thing should have been closed, the football case should have been closed, the Committee on Infractions just kept it open. They kept dragging it along because they were using football as leverage to get their pound of flesh with Will Wade, and they weren't going to stop until they got it. And ultimately, when the NOA came, because of the conditional reinstatement, LSU had clearance to fire Will Wade for cause. They did. And effectively, basketball got a slap on the wrist, and football got a slap on the wrist because all the NCAA Committee on Infractions wanted was Will Wade. They got it. It sucked. It sucked for LSU. It sucked for Will. It sucked for everybody. And he's paid a heavy price. He was an ascending coach. Of course, his first year at LSU was in the NIT. Second year, they win the SEC. They go to the Sweet 16. The third year was the COVID year. And then back into the NCAA tournament in his fourth year, and then he was fired in his fifth season before he got to coach in the NCAA tournament again. So, it's unfortunate because you could look back and think what could have been with Will during his time at LSU. I am just very grateful for the time that he spent here because during Will Wade's time he gave us, for example, the epic rant after the NIT game where they beat the University of Louisiana at Lafayette and their bonehead coach, Bob Marlin.
Now, I know they like to talk about their 27 wins in the RPI, but the RPI doesn't factor in, and they're big on beating all the Louisiana schools. Unfortunately for the RPI, you can't count your wins over Louisiana College and Xavier of New Orleans. It's not the way it works. I was surprised it wasn't a 2-7 game and not a 3-6 game. I was a little disappointed. I thought it'd be a 2-7 type matchup instead of a 3-6 type matchup. But they take shots at that. They take shots at our gym. By the way, we have an arena, not a gym.
So good, man. Take that, Bobby. Beautiful moment by Will Wade. Just crushing Bob Marlin. He gave us the amazing back and forth with WBRZ's Michael Cobble.
What are you looking for out of your team? And if guard play wins in March, you don't have a real guard. I mean, does that matter?
You don't have a real guard.
You don't have a
you haven't seen Javonte play or Cam play this year?
But you want him to shoot. You like him to score. That's what I'm saying. Like
yeah, that's the point. You got to have more points than the other team. So you got to have guys that can shoot and score. Damn, that's been our philosophy around here. It's not like we're grinding people out in the 60s. What do you mean we don't have good guards? You're right, we don't have good guards. We got great guards.
I didn't say you don't have.
We got two of the best guards in our league, two of the best guards in the country. What's your question?
What's the one thing you want to see out of your team improved here to
well, rebounding. Rebounding.
He's such a beauty. Oh, man. Rebounding. Oh, man. Oh, God, he's so good. He's so good. By the way, also, LSU fans, Will Wade was never coming back here. Ever. The guy that fired him still the AD. And when he was here, despite the success, you could look around and realize just how far down the totem pole you are. Remember this about the facilities?
If people knew what went on over there every day, they would be flabbergasted. And one of the times where I got really, really upset, I took videos of a bunch of stuff. I was about to post them to our Twitter account just so I could get people so upset about what was going on. And I know I'm sure they're still dealing with a lot of it, but that facility has got to be it needs to be brought up to code. It needs to be brought up to just a basic living standard.
That was a podcast that I did with Jonathan Pixley, the Rags to Riches podcast. It was a Rags to Riches, Rosters to Riches podcast. We did an NIL podcast for several years, the beginning of NIL, and we had Will on as a guest. That was in his year off of basketball, but that's what that audio was from. But the point is, why would you come back here? He's going into the ACC to a program where they value basketball, where he's going to have the resources he needs to win and succeed, and I'm thrilled for him. And I'm also thrilled that I get to watch Pat Forty squirm a little bit because the hypocrisy of everybody that pointed the finger and criticized Will Wade, yet ignored the fact that all these other coaches in college basketball, from Sean Miller and Bill Self and Rick Pitino and John Calipari and all of them, were all implicated in the exact same thing. But somehow it just became easy to target him because he was young and brash or whatever the case may be. He was scapegoated. He was a black sheep. And he's back in, and he deserves to be because he's a great coach. He's actually perfect for this era. He left McNeese better than how he found it, committed 2 years to them, and now he's off to a bigger, better thing, and I hope he wins a natty. And I hope Pat Forty has to be courtside to watch it. All right, it's After Further Review. Our show, Open Every Day, is brought to you by Bud Light. Drink easy with the great taste of Bud Light, the official beer of AFR, the official beer of the Tigers as well. Remember, if you're going to be at Crawfish Boil this spring, nothing goes together like Buds and Boils. Make sure you have plenty of Bud and Bud Light when you're boiling those crawfish this spring. Drink easy with the great taste of Bud Light, the official beer of AFR. All right, I'm excited about this, y'all. Former Tiger Davon Godchaux was traded to the New Orleans Saints at the beginning of this free agent period. Davon Godchaux joins us next on AFR.
After Further Review.
Get Gordon and get it done. Gordon McKernan Injury Attorneys. If you've been injured in an accident, it's not your fault. Do what injured people in our state have done for, my goodness, 30 years. Get Gordon and get it done. You can always go to getgordon.com. Hey, I want to remind you also, Gordon launched his new podcast studio, which they affectionately call The Garage. They converted a garage into their podcast studio. It looks awesome, by the way. And so they've started publishing their own sort of long-form podcast content with a lot of the NIL athletes that they have. There's some great videos up right now with some of the women's basketball players from Flaugier and Anissa Morrow, Michaela Williams. So you can go check that out with Gordon, sit down with the ladies and so many other great athletes, part of the G team. Candidly, I've requested to be a guest. Hey, they haven't taken me up on it yet. Maybe one day I'll get lucky enough to go into the garage. Anyway, if you've been injured in an accident, you know what to do. Go to getgordon.com, getgordon.com. Get Gordon and get it done.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
The Windsor Senior Living Community in Mandeville, Louisiana is a beautiful, vibrant apartment community geared toward seniors. They are nestled right in the heart of Mandeville, where seniors live a more carefree lifestyle in spacious apartments with the peace of mind that comes from having a little extra help. Call the Windsor at 985-624-8040 to schedule a lunch and tour. Come see how the Windsor can be your passport to peace of mind.
Jerry and Benny Payne began Central Plumbing Company out of their driveway in Tanglewood Subdivision. 50 years later and 4 generations down the road, we continue to serve Baton Rouge and the surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Residential, commercial, industrial, or hospitality, Central Plumbing is here 24/7, 365.
We want to thank our customers, family, and friends for 50 years of success.
And looking forward to 50 more.
Family owned and community driven.
Service Chevrolet Cadillac, a legacy you can trust since 1972. Service Chevrolet Cadillac, our family serving your family.
For over 50 years.
At Ochsner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Ochsner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one. You. Ochsner Andrews Institute. Long live you.
Crime has serious consequences, but anyone can make a mistake. If you find yourself in trouble with the law, know that you have rights, and it's okay to demand them. The law offices of O.C. Brown are here to protect you and your rights. Felony or misdemeanor, DUI or drug charge. No matter what crime you're accused of, you still have rights. Let the law offices of O.C. Brown uphold them. Call 225-343-1111. Your law firm for a lifetime.
When it comes to choosing energy for your family and your home, make the smart choice with natural gas. You can count on efficient and affordable natural gas to keep you comfortable and reduce your...
After further review, presented by Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness. Visit yourgoodwood.com.
Man, one of the coolest stories, certainly this offseason for the Saints, but seeing a lot of the LSU guys come home, and how awesome to see Davon Godchaux start his career as a high school prep athlete at Plaquemine, come to LSU, and now have a chance to play for the New Orleans Saints as well after the trade from the Patriots. Good enough to join us for a couple of minutes here. Davon, it's great to catch up, man. How are you?
I'm good, man. It's great to be on the show. I'm excited to, start off this journey of, having a chance to play high school, college, and now the NFL in the state of Louisiana, and just get back to work, man. Just so try to put some wins together and get the Saints back to where they need to be.
All right, man. I want to start here. So, covered you as a prep athlete at Plaquemine, then obviously at LSU. Like, you were a D end in high school, then became a tackle at LSU. Bro, they say you're tipping the scales at 330 now, playing the nose. How big are you, man? You're just a far cry from the dude that was playing Plaquemine coming off the edge.
Yeah, went about 330, 335. But just kind of like just holding my weight like good. I always want to keep my body nice and toned. Just staying in shape.
You like?
But, I think just
from Plaquemine, I was like a DN/D tackle, more DN. And then I never forget my D-line coach at LSU was like, when you get here, you're gonna be a D tackle. And I was like, what? Like, you know. So I got hurt my senior year in the county. You know how those ACLs and just not really doing nothing. You know, you just rehabbing, not really can't run. So I kind of like got like a little heavier there, and then after that, like it just fitted my frame. You know, and I was a defensive tackle in the SEC, and I went on to play. I could play any position at the NFL. That's what makes it so great. I didn't play 3-tech. I didn't play 4. I didn't play 5-tech. I didn't play shade. I didn't play 0. I'm just being versatile, and I learned that from being around Coach Allen.
Man, I want to talk a little bit more about that and how you fit with the Saints and Brandon Staley's D and all that in just a second. But I want to go back. Can you walk us through that whole process of like when you first got the call, like trade was going to happen and it's New Orleans?
Well, my agent called me and he was like, the Saints are really aggressive. Like, they really want you. And I was like, so what the money going to be like and stuff like that. And, the money was good and the fit was good. And I was like, they need each tackle. They need a nose. They need somebody in the D-line to, to help bring a part of what they already have to stop the run. And I was like, I never played in the NFC. I've been in the AFC East my whole career. So I'm like, why not go to the NFC South and compete? And, it was just a great fit. I mean, I believe in with Coach Staley, getting a chance to get the players one-on-ones to dominate and make plays. I believe in that. And I'm all about that. I'm all about, sacrificing, sometimes being a linebacker come down to make plays. And when it's my time to eat, it's my time to eat, so I'm excited for it.
When when the deal gets done and the opportunity to come home happened, I would imagine you still got a lot of family here. What was the family's reaction when they found out you were coming back?
I mean, everybody was excited. Text messages blowing up, Instagram, social media, everything. Because, like I was originally supposed to put the news out, but I was actually on the plane coming back from Paris. So when I got some Wi-Fi, I just see the news everywhere. And I'm like, dang, I didn't even put it out. But I see Ed Rappaport, Adam Scheffler, and I'm like, I didn't even get a chance to put it out. And then I had no choice but to pull it out, posted because those guys already had tweeted it. So I mean, it's very exciting, man. It's very exciting just to get back home and represent the state of Louisiana in the right way. And it's more personal because I'm from Louisiana and everybody's gonna be watching every Sunday. Everybody's gonna be probably there every Sunday. So it's more personal, and I'm excited to put some wins together.
What were you doing in Paris?
Man, I was just looking at the runway a little bit, looking at a couple shows, and my second passion is I love fashion. I just love the beauty of art, the beauty of character. I feel like fashion is a great way for you to explain yourself each and every day, by express what you wearing, maybe some art figures, maybe whatever. But I feel like it's a great way for you to represent the way you feel.
Are you a designer? Like you got lines or anything? Just just collecting?
Nah. I just collect. I just like collecting great pieces, and maybe one day we'll see a clothing line. One day.
All right. I was talking to Davon Godchaux, I guess. I was talking to Jake Hester here just a bit ago. He told me that down in Florida you live next to E.J. Manuel and Jarvis Landry. Y'all get competitive games going in the street?
Pickleball, man. We get a lot of pickleball games going. Pickleball is very competitive. I actually just finished. Just finished working out. After that, I went to the pickleball court and I was teaching my wife how to play pickleball. So my wife is getting into pickleball now, and I'm like, she's already like, it's so addicting, babe. And I'm like, yes, it's very. That's why I'm never home. It's very addictive. It's very addictive.
Who's better, Jarvis or EJ?
I'm the best pickleball player.
Really?
I'm the best. Believe it or not, I'm the best. EJ told me yesterday, he was like, you're gonna have 2 picks this year by the way you playing pickleball. I love it just gets me away from everything. I love playing it. I love competing with it. I love playing a lot of singles. I love playing one-on-ones. Doubles is kind of too slow for me. I still love playing it, but singles is my favorite.
All right, man. Moving around. And so you just said you're going to have a couple of picks. You haven't had one in your career yet, man.
I haven't had one, man. I dropped a couple of times, but I haven't had a pick.
I mean, Colin Saunders, big dude in the middle for the Saints, had one again off Mahomes last year on Monday Night Football.
Yeah, that was perfect. I love Big Boy was running.
We got a couple more minutes here with Davon Godchaux. Yeah. Hey, so you said that you like what Brandon Staley does and the fit. Let's dive in a little bit there, man. You mentioned you're in the AFC East your whole career with Miami and then New England. So like, how much do you know about Brandon Staley?
Well, we played against him a lot. He had a funny story, so I don't know if you want me to share this.
Yeah, no, please, anyway. Please, yeah.
I'm gonna share it anyway. He told me. I played against Coach Staley a couple of times. We played him in L.A. We played him in New England, and we played him in New England last year, but he wasn't the coach. So the year before that, we played him, man. Kellen Moore was the OC. And he told me in his office, I mean, in his office, he was like, when we was coming to play you guys, he named the year, I think it was 2023, 2023. And he would say, we was on the plane heading to Massachusetts. And I told Kellen, I said, if we think we're going to run the ball on these guys, we're joking ourselves. Matter of fact, if we think we're going to run the ball with 92 in the middle, we're kidding ourselves. With a backup center, if we think we're going to better run the ball this game, we're kidding ourselves. And he said he knew coming into that game that, and actually, the score was like 10-3. I mean, we couldn't even score 10 points. I mean, we lost 10-3 against the Chargers. And they was not able to run the ball. Of course, they couldn't even pass the ball. But I mean, they scored. I think they scored on defense or something. I can't remember.
Bro, it was 6. I'm looking right. It was 6-0.
Yeah. It was 6-0, right?
Yeah.
I know it was a. That year we had so many close games. Like, it was ridiculous. We could have scored 10 points. So he said he knew that game. They wouldn't go be able to run the ball. He said he just respected the way my technique, my fundamentals has been over the years, especially getting with Bill Belichick. And he was telling Kellen, we're not gonna be able to run the ball. We're joking ourselves. We think we're gonna be able to run the ball, and that was true. But I just always had such great respect for him. He's been a great coach and head coach in his league. Had some tough losses. I think their playoff loss to Jacksonville was a tough one.
Yeah.
I think Jacksonville came back and won. So that was a tough loss. But he's been a great head coach in his league. I'm excited for him to be the DC for the New Orleans Saints.
24 carries for 29 yards. The Chargers had that game against y'all. Good memory, man. Good recall on that one.
Yeah.
Hey, what about? So you mentioned Belichick, right? So you got to play for the greatest coach ever, and now you're gonna play for a first-time head coach.
Yeah.
What do you think about playing for a guy? Kellen Moore is 36 years old.
For me, Kellen might be the same age as Cam Jordan. But what makes a great head coach to me, what makes a great coach in general, it's a great leader of men. You got all these guys come from different backgrounds. Some of them single-parent households and things like that. Some guys, both parents together. And guys have their different personalities. But when you couldn't have a coach that can bring guys together and compete at a higher level and compete as one, because everybody's goal is to win a Super Bowl. Nobody's got to talk about it. But when you got a coach that can do that, that's a great leader in my opinion. When you got a great coach that can teach you, not only talk about it, but teach you how to do it, that's a great leader in my opinion. Kellen, with his experience with Dallas, everywhere he's been, he's had explosive offenses. Of course, Philly last year winning the Super Bowl. Dallas had a very, Dak was throwing for 4,000 or 5,000 yards a year. And then you got Justin Herbert, who was playing at an MVP level also. Kellen has been a great offensive mastermind. But the challenge is going to be for, it's challenges for everybody. Challenge for players, challenges for coaches. Is leading a group of men, which I think he can do. Philly had a lot of guys, a lot of talented guys, but Kellen led them to a destination. Kellen and, the head coach also led them to a destination to win the Super Bowl. It takes not only just a head coach, it takes a group of people, a group of coaches around him to buy in. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, man.
So I'm excited for it. I'm excited for him to start his journey as I think he couldn't have started in a better place. He brought a lot of coaches around him. Nussmeier, dad, his offensive coordinator, he brought a lot of guys down with him from Philly. So I'm excited for him, man. I'm excited to see him flourish. And we didn't have a lot of young coaches the last couple of years in his league, first year coaches, and then had great seasons. D'Amico Ryan, I could keep naming them. We had a lot of coaches who didn't had great first seasons. So I think Kellen could be one of them for sure.
It's interesting, man. Just listening to you talk, and I've done this long enough. You talk to enough guys. Not everybody stays locked in to football or the whole NFL. Your team, your job, and then there's family, there's a lot of other things. You sound like you have like still a really deep passion for the game and for the league.
Oh man, this game has brought me a lot of places, man. Like I was just talking to you about Paris. This game brought me to Paris. I would not go to Paris without this, the loving and the caring. And what this game has taught me, just the people it made me meet, explore. Football could be it's a great sport, not only for stuff on the field, stuff off the field, the people it makes you meet, the connections that you make for life after football. This game you got to cherish the game, and if you cheat the game, like the game is eventually going to catch up to you. Like this game knows who really commit themselves day in, day out. More than posting Instagram videos, social media videos. This game knows who's cheating it. You know what I'm saying? So, football can do a lot of stuff for you, man. It's a lot of, like guys like Ron Clark, Marcus Spears, even guys, Jacob Hester, guys who played the game and, who's now getting rewarded with great, radio shows and great ESPNs and stuff like that. So, this game, you got to cherish this game because it can do a lot for you. It can make you meet a lot of great people in life.
And you've been just a couple more quickly. You've been real durable. Yep. How much longer you want to play?
Man, start having fun. I'm healthy. I haven't had any major surgeries besides one my fourth year in the NFL when I had a hernia surgery, which took like 15 minutes, and I had a bicep surgery from making a tackle. But that's about it. Thank God I have been healthy, taking care of my body, try to stay. Even though sometimes my physical therapies, my massages, it gets expensive out through the year, but I know that's going to help me prevail and help keep me in the lead, So I just kind of, when I start having fun, I'm right now in the defenses that I'm playing in this like kind of like this Pete Jenkins, Bo Davis type. I can play a lot more longer in this system because I'm strong, I'm durable. I can share blocks. I can run sideline to sideline. It's not really asking you to run 40 yards down the field every play. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I can do this for a long time. As long as I'm healthy, and the most important thing, as long as I'm having fun. Winning is fun. A lot of people forget that. Getting paid is great, but winning is fun. If you don't win, it sucks. I'd have been a part of that, unfortunately, a lot of times in the NFL. I haven't won, so, it sucks to, be at home in January, late January, and you're watching everybody play on TV, a couple of teams play on TV, and you're like, man, I'm better than this guy. I should be right here, but you gotta eat it because it's a team sport. It's not a you sport. It's a team sport. And I tell people, like you can't win a Super Bowl now, but you can absolutely lose the Super Bowl right now by not doing things day by day by day. You're not gonna win a Super Bowl in September and August in training camp, but you could definitely lose one by not preparing yourself each and every day.
Davon Godchaux, glad to have you back, man. Hopefully we can chat again. We appreciate so much the time today.
For sure. Thank you so much. Appreciate it, brother.
It's our pleasure. That is Davon Godchaux, who's back in Louisiana and fired up for it. Okay, I got a quick break. Momma Scone in 1 hour. We'll talk to Brandon Marcello of CBS Sports, little college football, in hour number 3. Well, I got a break. Go around the SEC. Joey B coming to a television near you. We'll explain. It's all coming up here on AFR.
After further review.
AFR is brought to you by Duplessis Builders, duplessisbuilders.net. Man, really cool yesterday to have a couple of Duplessis Builders clients in studio with us. And, it's so validating to talk to people who've had their experience with Duplessis and they effectively say the same thing about the experience that I say on air every day. And, specifically, the commitment to quality that is such a core part of what Derek and his team do over at Duplessis. Lance, who we got to talk to, is a builder, and said, look, with Duplessis, they talked to 5 different companies. Everyone's upgrade was Duplessis's base model. They're the best. It's duplessisbuilders.net.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected. Supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team. And backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Baton Rouge's home for real rock. It's Eagle 98.1. Foo Fighters. Led Zeppelin. AC/DC. Pearl Jam. And the flagship home for LSU sports. Take us anywhere with the Eagle 98.1 app. Eagle 98.1 is the rock station.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
ED, low T, or simply seeking to optimize your health and performance? Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness offers a range of discreet services to address your specific needs. We empower men to reclaim their health and confidence. Visit yourgoodwood.com.
Jerry and Benny Payne began Central Plumbing Company out of their driveway in Tanglewood subdivision. 50 years later and 4 generations down the road, we continue to serve Baton Rouge and the surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Residential, commercial, industrial, or hospitality, Central Plumbing is here 24/7, 365.
We want to thank our customers, family, and friends for 50 years of success.
And looking forward to 50 more.
Family owned and community driven.
Service Chevrolet Cadillac, a legacy you can trust since 1972. Service Chevrolet Cadillac, our family serving your family.
For over 50 years.
At Auctioner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Auctioner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one: you.
After further review, presented by Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness. Visit yourgoodwood.com.
Taylor Calandro here in about 10 minutes from right now. So get your booze questions in. Email us, tweet us, text us, 225-396-4400, 396-4400, 396-4400. Will Wade's going to be the next head coach at NC State. That's being widely reported now. We opened the show talking about it. Relived some of the General's great moments during his time at LSU. Greg Lehman texted the show. Can we get Cobble back on to relive that moment?
What's your question?
Cobble is texting me as we're replaying it. Cobble's texting me. I felt the heat when you replayed it, even today.
What's your question?
Oh, man, it's so good. Yeah, we'll see if we can line up Cobble. See if we can find it. We'll find him somewhere around here. Got a lot to do today. We'll see if we can line it up. All right, it's after further review. We are glad you're hanging out with us here. Joe Burrow is coming to a TV screen near you before football season resumes. Netflix has announced quarterback season 2 is coming in July. Joe Burrow, Kirk Cousins, Jared Goff will be the 3 featured quarterbacks. Interestingly, Cousins, was on the first season. Goff is coming off a season where he was a finalist for MVP, and Burrow obviously led the league in everything. So the cameras followed these 3 around during the 2024 season. But Cousins, fascinating as well because he took the giant contract to go to Atlanta and then lost his job. The first season of quarterback, Cousins was on it in Minnesota. Patrick Mahomes was on it. And oddly, Marcus Mariota was on it. That's when he went to Atlanta. And I know this because my wife wanted to watch it because Patrick Mahomes was on there. And she only cares about Patrick Mahomes because Taylor Swift and Brittany Mahomes are now friends since they've been going to games together at Arrowhead. And so Erica had an interest there. I think we watched 2 episodes. The show was not very good, and we didn't watch any more of it. But this says Joey B on it, so we'll probably give it a gander. Quarterback Season 2 coming to Netflix in July. All right, it's After Further Review. We're glad you're hanging out with us here. We're brought to you by Relief Windows and ReliefWindows.com. Energy-efficient replacement windows, beautiful entry doors, hardy plank vinyl siding. They do it all. They do it better than anyone. It's Relief Windows and ReliefWindows.com. Remember, you can increase your home's resale value. You can beautify the exterior of your home. You walk outside and you look at your siding or you look at that wood, whatever it may be, that'll rot in this, that siding, the hardy plank and vinyl siding is fire resistant. It is comes with a lifetime warranty, won't dry or rot. It comes finished in whatever color you want, so you never have to paint it again. It's done. It's easier to clean. Learn more at Relief Windows and ReliefWindows.com. Windows, doors, siding, they do shutters as well. ReliefWindows.com. Okay, do it every day about this time. Let's go around the SEC.
Around the SEC, bringing you the biggest news from the nation's best conference. The Mississippi State Bulldogs.
Jeff Lebby gave an update. Quarterback Blake Shapen, of course, was lost for the season last year due to an injury. Spring practice underway. Shapen's back, working with the ones, and Lebby said, feels great, got all the reps with the ones. He'll continue to work and put himself in a position to play at a high level. Shapen played in 4 games before the season-ending shoulder surgery. Remember, Shapen transferred from Baylor to Mississippi State.
Texas A&M!
Mike Elko is confirmed. Wide receiver Micah Hudson is no longer with the A&M program. This is a big one, y'all. Micah Hudson's a former 5-star receiver who was at Texas Tech, entered the transfer portal in this portal window back in December, lands at A&M, and now ahead of spring has gone back to Texas Tech. He was the number 12 overall recruit in the country. He was the number 10 player in the transfer portal. So this is a big get for A&M, and now subsequently a big loss as Micah Hudson is leaving A&M and heading back to Texas Tech.
The Alabama Crimson Tide.
Kalen DeBose updated his quarterback competition, did an interview on the SEC Network during Alabama's Pro Day, talked about Ty Simpson, a veteran, feeling kind of comfortable. He's the clear leader. Sounds like Austin Mack might be behind him. And then, of course, freshman Keelan Russell, the kid they flipped from SMU, I'm sure is going to be awesome, is their third. And there's a little bit of a learning curve, according to Kalen DeBose.
The Ole Miss Rebels.
And Lane Kiffin explained hiring assistant coach James Craig, of course, former LSU line coach James Craig, under John Garrison during the 2025 season. So it was the Inside the Rebels. They asked Lane Kiffin about the hire. So James Craig coming in as a good addition, coached in the SEC, NFL. His daughter goes to school at Ole Miss too. Craig has spent the last 3 seasons in the NFL with the 49ers. He'd also been with the Raiders, USC, the Denver Broncos, Chargers, and then LSU from 2018 to 2020. All right, there you have it. That is Around the SEC. Our Hump Day shows, as always, are brought to you by Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness. You can learn more at yourgoodwood.com, yourgoodwood.com. Remember, lowest prices, never any contracts. Go in. A simple blood test can let you know if you're a candidate for hormone replacement therapy. Recapture your vitality, gents. You don't have to go through life being sick and tired of being sick and tired. Feel like you did when you were in your 20s. It's possible. It's safe. It's affordable. They can help you out at Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness. Visit yourgoodwood.com. Okay, y'all. Well, now I got a quick break. Come back. Taylor Calandro will be here. We'll look forward to a little Bourbon Dictionary. You got your booze questions, get them in. You can email us, tweet us, or text us in the 225-396-4400, 396-4400, 396-4400. Taylor's next.
AFR.
Always thrilled to tell you about our friends over at Rouse's, because every single day they got something great going on for Rouse's, and that's been the case for, 100 years now. Rouse's continues to expand, some 70 locations now, from Lake Charles to Orange Beach, Alabama, and points in between. Get on by and see our friends over at Rouse's. It is St. Joseph's Day, so if you have that tradition coming over from Italy, you're making that St. Joseph altar. They got plenty of items for you over at Rouse's if you're interested in that, whatever you might be celebrating. Of course, St. Patty's Day just in the rearview mirror, and we're coming up on another Friday, another Lenten Friday, where a lot of people, if you're going to be abstaining from meat, you're looking for that seafood option. Of course, they got the grab-and-go hot and boiled kiosk with shrimp and crawfish and all the other goodies. Remember, though, they've got the Seafood Spectacular every Friday, Saturday, and Sunday during Lent. Every Friday, Saturday, Sunday during Lent. It's $9.99 a pound with dozens of seafood options. You just fill your plate, $9.99 a pound. That's every Friday, Saturday, and Sunday at Rouse's.
At Luba Workers' Comp, our journey began over 30 years ago with a simple belief. Our clients come first.
At Luba, our business has always been focused on people, not policies.
Through every success and challenge, we've continued to grow because we've stayed true to our values, committed to providing you with genuine dependability.
Because your well-being is more than a priority. It's our purpose.
It's not just a game, it's a religion. You've got your team color, team swag, and now your very own website, LouisianaSports.net. Everything LSU, Saints, and Pelicans. Sports on demand. In-depth coverage by sports writing pros with continuously updated news. And with the LouisianaSports.net newsletter, you get pinged directly with top trending stories. Best of all, now and always, no paywall. It's free. LouisianaSports.net, powered by 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge. Your home for Louisiana sports.
Men, age is just a number. Don't let it dictate how you feel. Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness has anti-aging services that can help you look and feel your best. Visit yourgoodwood.com and discover a renewed sense of vitality.
Jerry and Benny Payne began Central Plumbing Company out of their driveway in Tanglewood subdivision. 50 years later and 4 generations down the road, we continue to serve Baton Rouge and the surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Residential, commercial, industrial, or hospitality, Central Plumbing is here 24/7, 365.
We want to thank our customers, family, and friends for 50 years of success.
And looking forward to 50 more.
Family owned and community driven.
Service Chevrolet Cadillac, a legacy you can trust since 1972. Service Chevrolet Cadillac, our family serving your family.
For over 50 years.
Parish Construction and Roofing.
This is Coach Kim Mulkey. Go to parishbuilt.com for all of your roofing needs.
From your hometown, parishbuilt.com.
After further review, presented by Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness. Visit yourgoodwood.com. They're the gang with the slang.
Keep it 100. I don't know what you're talking about.
This is Bourbon Dictionary with Matt Moscona and Taylor Calandro.
I don't understand.
All right, get your booze questions in. Email us, tweet us, text us, 225-396-4400, 396-4400. Muse tells me that Taylor's phone dropped. So we'll work and get him back here in just a quick second. Actually, it gives me a real quick reminder to remind you about Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry, lmfj.com. Coming up May the 20th through the 22nd, it's their engagement event. Muse will be over there getting fitted for that wedding band. I know Muse will be there.
I won't be,
At
but
Lee
you should go to Lee Michaels.
The Mall of Louisiana location. There's 9 of them in all. There's lots of locations. But if you want to see Muse getting fitted for wedding bands, looking for loose diamonds, maybe that engagement ring, great selection, great time to see the variety, try it on. Ask Muse what his favorite is. Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry, lmfj.com. Taylor's here. How are you?
Good. That's my jeweler, man.
They're awesome, man. Love them.
Parents been going there forever, and that's where I bought my ring for my current wife.
Love that. That's so good.
Well, good people over there, man.
Little red box. You'll thrill her with a gift in the red box, always.
Always.
You know what else is a thrill? When you get a good box or a good bottle of whiskey or booze.
Yep.
It's
on the flip side.
Always good. What's new over there?
We got a lot of new beer right now. We got Parish Supernova Thursday. That's a little double IPA from Parish. I drank last night Parish Throws, which is available at the brewery. That's a barrel-aged king cake stout, basically. I tried it last night, and I thought it was going to be like overly sweet. It is fantastic. So if you are by the brewery, I think it's only at the brewery. I know for sure it's not in Baton Rouge, but I think it's only at the brewery. Go get a bottle. It's freaking fantastic. It's not super sweet at all. It's like liquid, not sweet king cake with a barrel kick. Man, I was blown away because I usually don't like super adjuncty beer like that, but it was good.
I mean, that feels like a really terrible tease that you just told us how great this beer is, but you can't get it anywhere.
You got to drive to Broussard. It's here. There's people that listen in Lafayette.
That's very true. Shout out to our listeners on ESPN 1037 in Lafayette. If anyone who's listening on ESPN 1037 in Lafayette wants to go to the Parish Brewery there in Broussard, by the way, shout out to our friends at Mockler's. They distribute Parish here locally.
They do.
So if you want to go there and snag me some, that would be awesome.
It's really great. If you're into barrel-aged stouts, it's a really good beer.
I don't know if I am, but you're telling me it's great, so I'd love to try it.
I'll snag you one.
You know what? That's an even better idea. I wish you had thought of that when you were there.
I wasn't there, but I have people that can bring me a bottle of beer from Parish Brew.
Okay.
Yeah, I got people.
You got people. Well, let you have your people help my people, and by that I mean you should just help me.
Yeah, I will.
Okay, let's get to questions. Hey, you have anything else, by the way? Anything new? Anything going on? Or you want to get to questions?
Just a lot of new beer right now. A lot of strawberry beer, strawberry shiner. I got a strawberry strawberry from Agile. Well, man, there's pollen all over everything. It is that time of year for strawberry beer. So, just a bunch of seasonal strawberries right now.
Okay. Frank asked Taylor, have you ever tried the tequila by Kevin Hart?
Yes, and I cannot remember the name of it. But I've tried it. It's good. I think what I had was a Cristalino, which is I can't remember if it's a Cristalino or a Reposado or an Añejo. I can't remember the name of that stuff. It starts with a C. Camarino, I think. But it was good. It's a little pricey though.
I'm searching for it. My internet's not cooperating right now.
I think it's called Camarino. It's so hard to keep track of the celebrity junk.
Let's see. Ralph said, does ocean-aged bourbon really make a noticeable difference in taste, or is it mainly a marketing ploy?
Well, I'll answer that question, and then I guess you can too. Because we talk about that sometimes.
Yeah.
I have had Jefferson. He's talking about Jefferson's Ocean. Now, I don't know if there is another one, but that's the only one I know of. So I've had Jefferson's. I've had certain single barrels that I get salinity in, and I don't know if it's a mental thing. They do age those barrels like in the open ocean, so I would have to assume that the salt in the air does affect. I've caught salinity in certain Jefferson's Ocean barrels, so that's the only the only difference I've seen in an ocean aged barrel is like a tiny hit of salt water almost. I don't know if that was mental, but I don't know. I don't know. It's gimmicky for sure, but I don't know.
You're absolutely paying for the gimmick. It's a fine whiskey. I enjoy it very much, but you're paying for the gimmick. That it's on a shark ship and it moves. It's through the bottles instead of just saying sedentary and have to be rotated. The barrels are constantly moving with the ebbs and flows of the ocean on these shark ships, and they're all labeled and numbered, and you're paying for all that crap. You're paying. It's a very good whiskey. I like it a lot. The ocean.
It is for a good cause, though. It's for the sharks.
Yeah, it's for a good cause. Sharks, whatever. Take a shark. I got your shark.
Sharks
right
are very important.
Yeah, I got your shark right here. Anyway, so you all at Calandro's some time ago did a Jefferson's Ocean wheated barrel pick. That is one of the best whiskeys that I've ever had. Full stop. It was amazing. I finished that bottle probably in about a week. It was gone. I mean, I didn't share with anybody. I kept drinking it. So if I ever see an Ocean's wheated barrel pick, I will always spend the $90-$100, whatever it is, on that. That is very much worth it.
I don't even know if they do the wheated anymore.
But
I think we did 2 wheated barrels. They were both like very peppy.
Yeah, they're fantastic. They were
like
fantastic.
just very, very good. I think I still have a bottle or 2 of one of them,
Sure.
but I'm saving that liquid
sure
because I know how good it is.
Sure. Greg Lehman asked Taylor, what European vacation are you going on this year?
We are going to.
He's going on one. No doubt, right? Can't hide money.
That. My wife likes to travel. Like if she doesn't like cars, she doesn't like anything, but she likes to travel.
Okay.
So if she spends money and she makes money, so if she wants to spend money and go on vacation, I'm going to tag along. I think we're going to Italy, Austria, and Germany.
Okay.
Or Japan. We're tossing it up.
Maybe I'll make one big circle around the globe. Scott.
Well, we only have a week.
Yeah, well, make it 2. Scott, what's Taylor's favorite pour from the Weller and E.H. Taylor collections?
My favorite pour from the E.H. Taylor collection was the Sour Mash. My favorite,
really? Okay.
The E.H. Taylor Sour Mash, that was one of the first special releases they did. Probably the best American whiskey that's ever touched my mouth. I think so. I can pretty much say that with confidence. And you can't find those hardly. You have a hard time finding them on the secondary market. And what was the first part of that question?
Weller. Favorite Weller?
Weller. I love the William LaRue.
Let's say you can't go with the BTAC.
CYPB.
Okay. Taylor Calandro from Calandro's. Go check him out there on Government Street. Pop in, say hello. He's got fun beer, too. And maybe he'll let you sample something that's in those little bottles in the office.
For sure.
Pretty good collection there. All right, dude, thank you. We'll talk next week.
See you, Matt.
All right, that is Taylor. It's After Further Review, presented by Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness. Visit yourgoodwood.com. Lowest prices, never any contracts. Check them out. They're on Drusilla, yourgoodwood.com, right next to Unique Physique. You can check them out as well, uniquephysique.com. Okay, Sports Center's coming up. We just caught up on national headlines. When we come back, talk about LSU baseball. Tigers run rule UNO.
AFR.
ED, low T, or simply seeking to optimize your health and performance? Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness offers a range of discreet services to address your specific needs. We empower men to reclaim their health and confidence. Visit yourgoodwood.com.
At Auctioner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Auctioner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one. You. Auctioner Andrews Institute. Long live you.
Crime has serious consequences, but anyone can make a mistake. If you find yourself in trouble with the law, know that you have rights, and it's okay to demand them. The law offices of O.C. Brown are here to protect you and your rights. Felony or misdemeanor, DUI or drug charge. No matter what crime you're accused of, you still have rights. Let the law offices of O.C. Brown uphold them. Call 225-343-1111. Your law firm for a lifetime.
Jerry and Benny Payne began Central Plumbing Company out of their driveway in Tanglewood Subdivision. 50 years later and 4 generations down the road, we continue to serve Baton Rouge and the surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Residential, commercial, industrial, or hospitality, Central Plumbing is here 24/7, 365.
We want to thank our customers, family, and friends for 50 years of success.
And looking forward to 50 more.
Family owned and community driven.
Service Chevrolet Cadillac, a legacy you can trust since 1972. Service Chevrolet Cadillac, our family serving your family.
For over 50 years.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Christine Lisi. A significant change to NFL playoff seeding proposed by the Lions. Team with the best record in each conference, top overall seed. Then seeds 2 through 7 would be ordered strictly by record in the AFC and NFC. The Vikings, moving past their talks with free agent quarterback Aaron Rodgers, currently have J.J. McCarthy at the top of the depth chart. Minnesota could revisit Rodgers if he's still unsigned, should McCarthy get injured or show a need for more development time during offseason practices. Rodgers does have standing offers from the Steelers and Giants. He could also call it a career, says Unsportsmanlike co-host Chris Canty.
If you're Aaron Rodgers, do you really want more of the same, and that is going to a franchise that's looking to you to be the savior, to be the missing piece? I don't know that he's even capable of being that at this stage of his career. Check that. I know that he's not that same quarterback at this stage in his career.
McNeese men's basketball coach Will Wade has agreed to become the next coach at NC State, reports ESPN's Jeff Borzello. His Cowboys face Clemson in the first round of the NCAA tournament tomorrow.
Hey, it's your resident Super Bowl champ, Chris Canty, coming up Thursday. I'll tell you how many games Aaron Rodgers, Russell Wilson, and Shedeur Sanders will start next season. It's Unsportsmanlike, weekday mornings at 6, right here on ESPN Radio, ESPN2, and ESPNU.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
Live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studio.
Let's rock! Go!
Hour 2, off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. It's AFR, presented by Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness. I'm Matt.
Thanks, bud. I appreciate it.
So good. I think we should just have all general today in honor of the general coming back. Paul O'Neill.
They're chanting Paul O'Neill's name.
Muso. And Mr. Toby Tomplay. All right, we're here. Glad you are as well. Get out there and make it a good one. Mama Scone in 30 minutes. She'll be here to make her picks in her bracket. If you're new to the show, thank you for finding us. But I don't know. For as long as we've done the show, 15 years, I've gone head-to-head with my mom in a bracket challenge. There are 2 instances in which she has beaten me. The whole idea was to prove that you didn't need to know nothing about nothing to have a successful NCAA tournament bracket. My mom, as you will find out if you're not familiar, knows absolutely nothing about sports, college basketball in particular. And she and I will go head-to-head. And there are times where she beats me. The most stunning upset ever. Mama Scone had Loyola of Chicago. You know, the Sister Jean run, Final Four run? She had Loyola of Chicago in the Final Four that year because my family is very Catholic, and my dad went to Loyola Law. I don't think she actually understood that it was not that Loyola. It wasn't Loyola of New Orleans. This is Loyola of Chicago. I also don't think she cared. She just saw a sweet little nun in a Catholic school and was like, we have to pick them. So she did. And they went to the Final Four. But we'll see what Mama Scone has up her sleeve this year. Here in about 27 minutes from right now. All right, it's after further review. LSU baseball run rules, UNO on Tuesday night. How about the Ethan Fry walk-off homer in the bottom of the 7th inning to score the run rule 11-1?
The 2-2. Ethan Fry with a rocket shot to left, and this baby is gone. Ethan Fry, have a night. Solo home run, and the Tigers walk it off here in the bottom of the 7th inning with a 10-run rule in effect.
Fry came off the bench, ended up homering twice in the game, and was great to see him have the success he did. I'm not super interested, quite honestly, in LSU beating UNO. You'd rather win than lose. You know my feeling on midweek games. I don't know if you noticed, but Tennessee and Texas both had their seasons end last night. Tennessee at the hands of East Tennessee, the Buccaneers. And Texas lost to the Roadrunners, didn't they? UTSA, wasn't it?
They did in 12 innings.
How about that?
12 innings. It was a great game.
Did you watch it?
I picked it up in the 8th when I got home from the box,
wow.
actually. Yep.
So was it I just saw the finals that both UTs lost.
Yeah, so East Tennessee State's leadoff hitter hit 2 homers, one to tie the game in the 9th. Texas had a lead, in the 8th. Or take the lead in the 8th.
Well, you said UTSA or ETU?
UTSA.
Okay.
Sorry. There's a lot of initials there, both UTs, all that, but
alphabet soup.
Yeah. That kid hit a 2-run homer in the 8th to take the lead. Texas tied it in the bottom of the 8th, and then they had another home run in the 12th. UTSA did to win it. Yeah.
Have a day. LSU didn't need the dramatics. They just dump trucked a bad UNO team. The only thing in this game that I was really interested in seeing, singular, was throw strikes. That was really it. We've talked about it a good bit. There's not much you're going to take away from beating a team like UNO. Control what you can control, and what you can control is throwing the ball over the plate. That's something LSU has struggled to do. They're 4th in the SEC in walks. Georgia has 109. South Carolina has 93. Then Ole Miss 89. LSU 87. So Georgia by far has the most walks. Then South Carolina, Ole Miss, and LSU are all kind of clumped together right there. The flip side of it is LSU's pitching staff leads the SEC with 262 strikeouts. That tells you have the arm talent, which you haven't had at times, is command. So go throw the ball over the plate. And it started ominously. I mean, Jaden Newt walked the first batter of the game. He threw a strike and then 4 straight balls. And you're going, oh my goodness, here we go again. Single, and you're down 1-0. But from that point on, Jaden Newt dialed in. He struck out the side in the first and ended up going 4 innings for you, giving up just that 1 run. He allowed the hit that we talked about, 4 hits, 5 strikeouts, just the 1 walk to lead off the game. Jaden Newt was really good. Here was Jay Johnson on Newt after the game.
I had my mindset, if we got 3 innings, that would have been great. But he really found his stride. I mean, after those 2 base hits, I think he gave up 1 more single, but they didn't do much after that. So really good outing for him. I think it's something to build off of. And I think we controlled the pitch count enough to have him available, back into the weekend.
And it wasn't just Newt. It was Myers and Williams that followed. Look, the thing about Myers that we've talked about, the ball explodes out of his hand. He's 96, 97. The stuff is electric. He's got big league arm talent. The problem is he led the country in walks last year. Can he command it? And when he commands it, he's really good, and he was really good last night. He went an inning and 2/3, no runs, no hits, struck out 4, had 1 walk. So you get that kind of outing from Myers, where he's commanding the zone. He is a weapon out of the bullpen. Situationally, to face 1 hitter when you got to get a strikeout, a situation like that, yeah. I mean, if he can command it, you have no problem going to him in that spot. The problem is, bases loaded, 1 out. You desperately need a strikeout. They got a righty coming up. You'd love to go righty here, but do you really want to put Myers in the game with his command issues where he might walk in a run? That's what he's got to prove, that he can go command the zone. Last night was a good step. And I'd say the same for Cooper Williams, the freshman lefty. This one's so important because, and Jay Johnson's talked about it, they need lefties to emerge on this team. I mean, you've got Cade Anderson, and after that, I don't really know what you have. DJ Primo pitched each of the 3 games this past weekend. So very clearly, Jay Johnson needs a lefty out of the bullpen, and DJ Primo's the first one. Now, they threw Connor Ware a couple of times, and Ware just doesn't look like the guy that was so dominant in fall and in preseason. I don't know what's happened there. It's not like the level of competition is ratcheted up. It's just, it hasn't looked like it did. Hopefully he finds his stride because that's critical. But after that, I mean, you heard Jay talk about the possibility of going to Dalton Beck. Cooper Williams feels like a guy that could be it, man. You're talking about a tall, long lefty who can present some issues. Again, the arm talent's there. The command hasn't been. Last night he goes an inning and a third, no runs on 2 hits, strikes out a guy, doesn't walk anybody. So that was good to see. Now, can you build upon that? Couple of other takeaways. I'm going to keep banging this drum. Jake Brown needs to be in the lineup every day. I don't know that everyone agrees with me, and I know Ethan Fry had a couple of homers last night, but Fry last year hit 185 against SEC pitching. He had 11 strikeouts and 27 at-bats against the SEC. I got to see Ethan Fry do it consistently against conference arms. And even if he does, I still want Jake Brown in the lineup every day. I think what you get to is the point where you would look at Pearson and Fry as your DH, lefty-righty, whichever you need. Fry's maybe your right-handed DH, pinch hitter from the right side if you need it. Jake Brown last night was 1 for 2, a double, walked, hit by pitch. He was on base 3 times. He doubled before Cade Arambidi hit the homer. I got to have Jake Brown in the lineup every day. There's no he's your third leading. He's hitting 397. I mean, he's behind only Curriel and Jones. There's no justification for sitting him. In meaningful games, he's got to be out there. Tuesday night, you want to give Fry a shot in the outfield or Pearson? Okay. But the same way you settle on Luis Hernandez as your catcher in conference weekends, Jake Brown's got to be your right fielder in conference games. And how about Cade Arambidi? He struck out in the first inning with the bases loaded, which was really disappointing, but came back in the third after Brown's double and hit a 429-foot bomb, which was awesome to see. So young guy with a super high ceiling and is going to be awesome. So every time he has those successful moments like that, it's great to see. But look, Jay Johnson after the game, talked about the team, the staff that just continues to improve as they move along.
Something I tell the players all the time, like, you have permission to get better. You know what I mean? It's like this thing just doesn't go perfect for hardly any of them. You know what I mean? Like, we were spoiled, like, with Dylan Cruz. Like, I don't know who has careers like that it's just like you step in the box and then go, you know. But they're all getting better, and, you know, that's what we promise them. You know, it's a training ground for pro baseball and a chance to improve and compete at the highest level. And, you know, this team's doing all of those things.
I love that. I say it often in every sport, teams are allowed to improve, but the way I say it about baseball specifically is it is a 56-game evolution. Very seldom do you ever finish the season how you started the season, with your lineup, with who you think you're counting on. Look, last year, you're in regional play, and Ashton Larson is one of your key guys. He goes to the Cape, was like the MVP of the Cape, comes here, we're thinking Larson's going to figure in prominently, can't get on the field because Derek Curriel has been amazing. So it just very, very seldomly finishes like it starts. So go through that 56-game evolution, keep getting better, carve out roles, find your best lineup, so when you get into June, you're sprinting with your best guys in their roles where they're comfortable, and see if you can go play your best ball and win a national championship and add to the intimidator. I love the way Jay Johnson said it. Like, yeah, you're allowed to improve. So keep getting better every day. Tigers have a huge test. I'm fascinated to see it. LSU will be at Texas this weekend. It will be by far your biggest test of the season so far. Let's see how this offense fares against a dramatic step up in competition as far as the arms you're going to see. All right, we're brought to you by Shaw Bills Tire and Auto Service, ShawBillsTire.com, with locations all over South Louisiana. Started in Morgan City, made their way up to Baton Rouge. Now they're in Denham, of course, in Livingston Parish. They're in Ascension. They're in Baton Rouge, West Baton Rouge, even farther west to Youngsville and Lafayette, Broussard. There's locations all over. Remember, if you need work done on your vehicle, if you need to buy tires, you want to buy the best tires for the cheapest price, you go to Shaw Bills. They guarantee it. The price match guarantee is part of the Charlie's Dozen, a dozen benefits extended to you and your family when you buy tires at Shaw Bills, like free tire repairs, free rotation, balancing. Check them out at Shaw Bills. Shaw Bills Tire and Auto Service, ShawBillsTire.com. ShawBillsTire.com. Ask about the Shaw Bills credit card. VIP pricing. It's basically a credit card for your vehicle. Shaw Bills Tire and Auto Service. Shaw Bills. We keep you rolling. Okay, y'all. It's after further review. If you missed it at the top of the show, Will Wade said to be the new head coach at NC State. That news breaking earlier today. Hunt Palmer's got a column going up here shortly over at LouisianaSports.net on Will Wade, his thoughts on Will Wade taking the NC State job. I'll tell you, the biggest thing for me is I'm grateful that Will Wade is not in the SEC. You're already in a league that is the deepest with the best coaches and best players. Just had the 14 teams make the NCAA tournament. The last thing in the world you need is Will Wade coming back into the SEC. So yes, go to the ACC, go to the NC State, go have great success there. And if we see you, we see you in the NCAA tournament. Hopefully we don't. But in any event, congrats to Will Wade. Thrilled for him, having traversed the path he did, but now back into major college basketball, and he's worthy. He's deserving, and I'm glad to see it for him. Okay, it's after further review. We'll knock out a quick break, and we'll see if we can run down Cobble next. It's AFR.
AFR.
Man, I love telling you about Clegg's Nursery. especially this time of year. It's never a bad time. Like during Christmas, I love telling you about Clegg's to go get your Christmas trees. You know, when it's fall and you get all those fall bedding plants, it's a really fun time of year as well. But the spring, y'all, I mean, after you go through the long winter and then you come through it and it's springtime and everything starts greening up again and the weather's beautiful and it's crawfish boils and you're starting to spend time outdoors again and you're going to baseball games. Just awesome to be outdoors. And that includes outdoors in your outdoor space. And Clegg's helps you beautify your outdoor space. You want rose bushes at your house? They've got more than 80 varieties of rose bushes. Look, as your lawn is coming back to life, you're probably going to see weeds pop up. Like, this is the time to weed and feed your lawn before the weeds become a full-on problem. Kill them before they become a problem. If you got questions, just ask. Go find someone there in a blue shirt and ask one of their friendly staff members how they can help you. Buy local, shop local at Clegg's Nursery.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected. Supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team. And backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
You work hard every day to pursue a life you love. You put in the time, and it shows. You're forging ahead, chasing a dream, creating something better for the ones you love. You're building your own life, so why not build your own tractor? With John Deere tractors and attachments for almost any need, the Sunshine team can help you do just that. Check out our current promotions and learn more about what it means to be powered by Sunshine at sunequip.com.
Men, age is just a number. Don't let it dictate how you feel. Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness has anti-aging services that can help you look and feel your best. Visit yourgoodwood.com and discover a renewed sense of vitality.
At Auctioner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Auctioner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one: you. Auctioner Andrews Institute. Long live you.
Crime has serious consequences, but anyone can make a mistake. If you find yourself in trouble with the law, know that you have rights, and it's okay to demand them. The law offices of O.C. Brown are here to protect you and your rights. Felony or misdemeanor, DUI or drug charge. No matter what crime you're accused of, you still have rights. Let the law offices of O.C. Brown uphold them. Call 225-343-1111. Your law firm for a lifetime.
Jerry and Benny Payne began Central Plumbing Company out of their driveway in Tanglewood subdivision. 50 years later and 4 generations down the road, we continue to serve Baton Rouge and the surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Residential, commercial, industrial, or hospitality, Central Plumbing is here 24/7, 365.
We want to thank our customers, family, and friends for 50 years of success.
And looking forward to 50 more.
After further review, presented by Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness. Visit yourgoodwood.com.
All right, we'll get to Momma Scone here shortly. Brandon Marcello, CBS Sports, will be with us next hour. He's got a nice piece about which SEC teams are playoff contenders, top playoff contenders. Talk a little bit about LSU and some of those contenders in the league here as they move their way through spring. Got a little bit of breaking news here on this Wednesday. Per Hayes Fawcett, as he is wont to do from time to time, LSU has landed a commitment from 5-star and the number 1 wide receiver in the country for the class of 2026, Tristan Keys out of Hattiesburg. Keys was in Baton Rouge for a midweek visit. We talked about him with Shea Dixon from On 3, the Bengal Tiger. Shea, of course, from Hattiesburg High as well. So we'll hat tip there to Hattiesburg. Wearing purple and gold, the uniform, the combo, all of it kind of already mirrors LSU. Pretty natural fit. So made his pledge to the Tigers. He's a 5-star, according to Rivals, ESPN 24/7. In the composite, if I run through very quickly, my apologies. Doggone it. Tristan Keys in the composite is listed as here you go, the number 3 player in the country. He is the number 1 wide receiver in the country. This is all in the On 3 composite. Again, out of Hattiesburg, 6'2", 185. He is rated as high as forgive me, my computer is just not cooperating with me right now. He's rated as high as the 4th overall player in the country by 24/7. On 3 rates him the number 8 overall player. Rivals the number 9 overall player. The lowest he is rated is number 16 overall by ESPN. Both On 3, 24/7 have him as the number 1 receiver. ESPN and Rivals have him as the number 2 receiver in the country, number 1 player in Mississippi. So you're talking about a dude, a legit full-on dude that everybody wants. Offers from Ole Miss, USC, Alabama, Auburn, everybody. Tennessee, Texas A&M, Oregon, Texas, Notre Dame, Georgia, Miami, everybody. It's a guy that the number 1 receiver in the country that everybody wants. I think this is obviously important for a couple of reasons. You start talking about 5 stars, it's very rare, and when you land 5 stars, it's notable for all the reasons that we already know. I also think this is significant because you continue that pipeline there from southern Mississippi, really in southwest Mississippi as well. When you go through the Pine Belt, that area has been very good to LSU. Guys like Richard Dixon, P.J. Woodland, even recently, the ability to go there into Mississippi and get players who, for many of them, are even closer in proximity to Baton Rouge than they are Ole Miss and Mississippi State, to go into Mississippi and get a player like that is massively significant. To leave the home state, especially with such a draw and the NIL commitment a school like Ole Miss has made. But very clearly, what LSU has to offer that many schools don't, 2 things. Number 1, the extreme success of the wide receivers they have developed and immediate playing time. If you take each of those individually, obviously when you look at the extreme success, we can go back through the years. Even when Les Miles' teams weren't throwing the football, they were pumping receivers into the NFL. From Brandon LaFell and Ruben Randall and Early Doucette and even guys like Russell Shepard, sort of famously James Wright, who didn't catch a pass at LSU his last year, was still a 7th-round draft pick. So, yes, LSU's had that history. Jarvis, Odell, Justin Jefferson, Jamar Chase, Malik Neighbors, Brian Thomas. You look at the list of the top receivers in the NFL, those 4 guys that I just mentioned are in everybody's top 5 or 6. It's incredible. Jefferson and Chase are the highest paid receivers in football now. Thomas and Neighbors aren't going to be far behind. So there's just a lot of validation to get where you want to go and to be in an offense that's going to let you get there and get that opportunity at a place like LSU. So that's one. The other is the opportunity. Look at your wide receiver room for 2025 and who's not going to be here in 2026. So not only did you go into the portal and add Nick Anderson, who's a 4th-year junior, not yet added Berrien Brown from Kentucky, who's in his senior year. You added Destin Hill, who's got a couple of years of eligibility remaining still, but coming off a knee injury, and we'll see what happens all there. But Anderson and Brown really were the 2 big ones. Chris Hilton came back, his final year of eligibility. Aaron Anderson came back, his final year of eligibility. Xavion Thomas came back, his final year of eligibility. So those 5 are all going to be gone after this season. And Bauer Sharp was a 1-year rental player. I know he plays tight end, but he's going to be a guy that garners a lot of attention and targets. So you're talking about 6 pass catchers that are going to get a lot of targets in 2025 that won't be back in 2026. So if you're the best receiver in the country in Tristan Keys, you come to Baton Rouge as a true freshman in 2026, you're going to have an immediate path to the playing field. Now look at the guys who will be returning. Kyle Parker played in the first game of his career against Southern Cal, had the unfortunate UCL injury, which cost him the remainder of his season. Jelani Watkins, who, an injury in fall camp last year slowed him down. Real great speedster. We haven't seen it yet. Kylan Billiot, who's out there right now, running around looking good on the field, just buried on a really deep depth chart. Teron Francis, true freshman, early enrollee, looks every bit out of Edna Carr in New Orleans, looks the part, is going to be a really good player. But again, that's 4 guys right there that haven't done anything. So if you are, in theory, coming in for the class of 2026, you're coming into a spot where, as you mentioned, Phillip Wright as well, who'll be here, the freshman. You're talking about coming into a spot where you've got an immediate path to the playing field. And I have no doubt that LSU is going to go into the transfer portal next year again and add a veteran receiver or 2 to help fill that gap. Because remember, the thing that continues to happen, not only at receiver, at every position, is every year you lose a quarter of your roster to the transfer portal. So you go sign a high school class. You lose a quarter of that class after year 1. You lose another quarter of that class after year 2. So when you get through 2 years, you're effectively looking at half of that signing class gone. Like, let's go back and look at the let's do this exercise, okay? Go back and look at the 2023 signing class, right? So these are the people that would be going into their 3rd year. Lance Hurd, had him for a year, gone. Deshaun Womack, had him for 2 years, gone. Toviano's still here. Jalen Brown, receiver, had him for 1 year, gone. Shelton Sampson, had him for 2 years, gone. Jackson Howard, had him for 2 years, gone. DJ Chester's still here. Kamorian Pimpton's gone. Whit Weeks is here. Kylan Jackson's gone. Caleb Jackson is still here. Tyree Adams is still here. Ricky Collins gone. Mac Markway gone. Trey Holly, different situation. Ryan Yates, Kyle Parker's still here. Kai Preon's gone. That's another receiver. Christian Braithwaite, Jeremiah Hughes is gone. Paul Mabenga's here. Jackson McGowan's gone. Michael Daughtery's gone. You understand the point, Connor? Gilbreth is gone. Do you understand the point? Like, you're going to lose half your class within 2 years. So even just what we talked about there, guys like Kai Preon and probably more importantly, Jalen Brown, that thinned out your receiver room, which necessitated going to get guys like Berrien Brown and Nick Anderson and Destin Hill. Well, next year, when a guy like Jalen Brown or Shelton Sampson would have been in their 4th year in the program, you now don't have that depth. So you're going to go into the portal and get somebody to give you some experience. Some guys got skins on the wall in major college football to complement the young veterans that you'll have, provided they're all back. Parker, Watkins, Billiot, Francis, all that stuff. But the point is, you're going to have a path to the field immediately for someone who comes in and is capable. And you see freshman receivers. Jeremiah Smith, Ryan Williams at Alabama. Yeah, young guys that come in and can go, they'll go right away. And this may be the guy. So a big get for LSU here. And Tristan Keys, the number 1 wide receiver in the country. He commits to LSU here on Wednesday. Now the real key, to forgive the pun, Tristan Keys, you got to keep him on board. You got to keep him here all the way to the December signing period and keep him engaged and committed. And there's going to be other teams that come after him. But you got the pole position, which is great to see. By the way, Shea Dixon on AFR last week had this to say about Tristan Keys.
I guess people don't really realize this, and look, it's not that much different. But when you talk proximity, Hattiesburg's closer to Baton Rouge than Oxford and Starkville are. So that just puts LSU into the conversation with a lot of these South Mississippi kids. And you see what they did in the past 2 cycles. They signed in the Pine Belt. I mean, Oak Grove, B.J. Woodland signed as a corner and playing for him this past year. And then they signed a top 100 guy in Tyler Miller on the O-line out of Laurel, another Pine Belt guy. A common thread has been Donovan Tate, who is a Hattiesburg High grad himself, played ball at both Southern Miss and Nichols, and then has been in Louisiana, been on LSU staff, got promoted here recently in the recruiting department. And being on staff for a few years now, he's had a good eye on Keys being, hey, this kid that's coming through Hattiesburg High, and they were one of the first offers, and I've had him around a ton. So Tennessee, Bama, those are teams that are kind of being talked up a good bit, but LSU's right there with them.
And LSU got the commitment here on Wednesday. Tristan Keys, number one receiver in the country for 2026, commits to LSU here on Wednesday. All right, it's After Further Review. We're brought to you by Evermore. Remember, whenever you go to your local grocer, store, or online, you're going to buy bottled water. Don't just reach for the cheapest bottled water. Don't just reach for the crinkly bottle from Texas that Muse drinks all the time because he hates Louisiana. Drink a better product. Drink a Louisiana product. Drink Evermore. Go to EVAMOR, Evermore.com, Evermore.com. Remember, Evermore is natural artesian water. This is a natural artesian well on the North Shore in Covington. When you pull into the property, you'll see the well right there. Everything, the water's piped out of the well, into the plant. It's bottled. It doesn't touch air until you crack it open. So you're drinking a truly pure, natural product that is better for you. And you might say, well, water's water. No, it's actually not. Go grab that bottle of water that you might buy the other brand. Look at how it might say, like, minerals added for flavor, like things added or taken away from it. No. This is a true, natural artesian water. It's Evermore. It's a Louisiana product. EVAMOR, Evermore.com. All right, it's After Further Review. Our Hump Day shows are brought to you by Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness. Thanks for being here with us. Brandon Marcello in 45 minutes. We'll talk a little SEC football. When we come back, however, it's time. It's an annual tradition. Mama Scone and I go head-to-head, and all of you cheer against me. The Mama Scone Bracket Challenge is next on AFR.
AFR.
Hey, before we get to Mama Scone, I'll remind you about Glow Resources. If you're a business owner, HR manager, if you're the person in charge of hiring in your business and you don't know Glow Resources, you need to know Glow Resources. Check them out online, glowresources.com, glowresources.com. They are complete employer solutions, and they will help you find qualified employees for whatever job you have anywhere in the country and for jobs all over the world. They're headquartered in Baton Rouge, and their headquarters is gorgeous, right there on Perkins Road next to Pennington. And if you drive down Perkins by Pennington, you can't miss it, especially at night. It's lit up and it's gorgeous. But they're not just in Baton Rouge. Their headquarters in Baton Rouge, but they've got office in Houston in the Golden Triangle. They've got offices in New Orleans, Miami, all over, so they can help you no matter where your business is. glowresources.com.
At Luba Workers' Comp, our journey began over 30 years ago with a simple belief. Our clients come first.
At Luba, our business has always been focused on people, not policies.
Through every success and challenge, we've continued to grow because we've stayed true to our values, committed to providing you with genuine dependability.
Because your well-being is more than a priority. It's our purpose.
You gotta believe in a dream. Believe. You gotta believe in a dream. Believe. You gotta believe. My whole team on wild.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
ED, low T, or simply seeking to optimize your health and performance? Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness offers a range of discreet services to address your specific needs. We empower men to reclaim their health and confidence. Visit yourgoodwood.com.
Jerry and Benny Payne began Central Plumbing Company out of their driveway in Tanglewood subdivision. 50 years later and 4 generations down the road, we continue to serve Baton Rouge and the surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Residential, commercial, industrial, or hospitality, Central Plumbing is here 24/7, 365.
We want to thank our customers, family, and friends for 50 years of success.
And looking forward to 50 more.
Family owned and community driven.
Service Chevrolet Cadillac, a legacy you can trust since 1972. Service Chevrolet Cadillac. Our family serving your family.
For over 50 years.
At Auctioner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Auctioner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one. You. Auctioner Andrews.
After further review, presented by Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness. Visit yourgoodwood.com.
Music, got to get some March Madness music here, man. Need some.
We've got it. We've got it.
We'll cue it. Hit it. Let's go. Here we go. It's time. There's only one way to welcome Mama Scone onto the show, and with the theme of her favorite sporting event, of her favorite sport. That's right. The NCAA tournament theme, as the madness is set to begin, and we know where Mama Scone will be. Parked right in front of the TV, glued to her seat, watching Hallmark Christmas movies. Mama Scone, how are you?
I'm doing well, Matt. How are you?
Oh, doing great, Mom. Let me know how fired up you are today.
I'm just so excited.
I can
can't
tell.
wait to not watch the games.
Coming out of her chair. Look at that right there. Super fired up. We've been doing this a long time, right?
We have.
You beat me twice.
Yep.
As I recall.
Yes.
Most famous.
Only twice.
What's that?
I said only twice.
Yep. But twice nonetheless. And most famously was the year Loyola of Chicago and the little old nun made their run all the way to the Final Four. You had him in the Final Four of the year, not just winning one game. You had him in the Final Four. Do you even remember the nun's name?
No.
Yes, it was Sister Jean.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, she's still kicking too, Mom. She's like 104, something like that. She's old.
Oh, really?
Really older than you even. It's crazy.
Yeah.
I know.
That's pretty old then.
That is pretty old. So, I called you earlier to remind you it was time to fill out your bracket. I trust you've done so.
I have.
Okay.
I'm ready.
How much time did you spend diving into all the matchups, all the different handicapping services, injury reports, who's in, who's out, coaching matchups, tournament records, all that good stuff? How much time did you commit?
None. It took me about, maybe 5 minutes or less to fill out my bracket.
Got it.
Just somebody told me that St. Mary's was doing good this year, so I kind of went with them.
Oh, they did?
Yeah.
Someone told you St. Mary's was doing well.
Yeah.
Did
they lie to me?
No. Do you know the St. Mary's mascot?
No.
You want to guess?
No. I don't have a clue.
Sounds awesome. Yeah, the Gales. That's their mascot, the Gales.
The Gales?
The Gales, yeah, Gaels, like Gaelic, sort of thing.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah. Well, let's start, Mom. Hit me with some of the high points there in the South region. So if you're looking at your bracket, upper left, South region, what kind of upsets do you like there?
Well, I don't know what the upsets are because...
Well, you see how they have the little number next to them?
They don't have it on the thing I printed out.
Well, why don't you just pick a name that you don't know?
Well, I have Iowa State. No, that's not an upset, is it?
Iowa State's a 3 seed. They're playing Lipscomb.
Yeah, I picked Iowa State.
Yeah, they're favored in it. That feels like a good pick, Mom.
Okay.
Yeah.
Some of them, like in the first round, I did go more with the whoever was higher. I did do
you went with
couple
chalk.
of
Remember
upsets.
the favorites are called the chalk. Remember?
Oh yeah, chalk.
Yep, you went chalk.
Yeah.
Super chalky.
Okay, but I didn't go chalk the whole way.
Okay, well then give me some upsets. Who's an upset that you have making the Sweet 16? Do you know what the Sweet 16 is? You want to guess how many teams are left in the tournament during the Sweet 16?
16.
Nailed it. Give her a ding, please. Thank you. Love to see that. Paying attention. We're doing better. Maybe we could just pick who's your final four. This might be better. Might be easier.
Okay, my final four.
You didn't send me your bracket. Normally you send it so I can look at it and I can ask you questions.
I know. I just got home like 10 minutes ago, so
that's okay.
I did it. My picks on my phone and got home and had to get my computer set up.
Are you like shuttered in your office right now, or
I'm in my bedroom?
In the bedroom. So you're in there so that the kids don't run in there. My sister Alicia is there with her 4 children, and so I'm sure if you open the door, it'd be chaos. That would be chaos. That would be, Mom, the true March Madness.
That is the true March Madness. Yes, it is pretty chaos. Okay, so I have final four. I'm trying to see this bracket. Okay, no, that's not the 4. Okay, I have Michigan.
You're doing great, Mom.
Michigan, St. Mary's, UConn, and Kentucky.
That's your final 4.
Yeah.
Okay. Mom, I don't think you're going to win this year. Who do you have playing in the championship game?
UConn and St. Mary's.
So we know St. Mary's are the Gales, right? Do you know the UConn mascot?
No.
No?
No.
They're the Huskies. Do you know who won the national championship a year ago?
No. Was it UConn?
I'll give you a hint. It's the team we're talking about right now. Yeah, so
was it?
Yeah, UConn. So they've been really good. Last year they were dominant. Their coach is a real a-hole though, and nobody likes him. But
that's not nice.
I'm sorry?
I said that's not nice.
Well, he's not nice. Muse, Paulie, confirm. Hurley's an a-hole?
Yeah, he's awful.
Yeah, giant a-hole. Nobody likes him. But his teams have been really good. But this year they're not super great. But won a couple of national championships, so maybe a little seasoned vet in the tournament. Why did you pick UConn if you didn't know their mascot or anything about them?
Because I don't know anybody's mascot.
That's not true. What's Texas A&M's mascot?
Texas A&M is the Aggies.
There it is. See, you nailed it. Give her a ding. Yeah. There it is. What about Liberty? Do you know Liberty's mascot?
No, I don't know that I ever heard of Liberty. I don't know where it is.
Yeah, they're in Virginia. They're a really rich school. They're the Flames. I don't think they're going to win anything, though. What about Duke? Yeah, I'm surprised you don't have Duke in the championship.
Duke is the Blue Devils?
Yeah, you got it. Look at Mom. Yeah. Mom's right to give her a ding. Come on, you stay. Give this woman her flowers when she deserves it. My goodness, it's so rare that she gets anything right.
I know.
All right, so how do you have LSU doing, Mom?
They're not even in it.
How do you know that?
Because when I did my bracket, they didn't come up.
Yeah, how much did you watch the Tigers play this year?
None.
Yeah, Mom, they stunk this year. It was really bad. It was a really bad year. Yeah, but the ladies, though, Kim Mulkey.
They're doing good, huh?
They're doing great. Did you see the picture of the side-by-side of Erica and Kim Mulkey that I posted?
Not recent. I mean, it was a while back.
No, about a week ago or so.
Oh, yeah. I think I did.
So Kim Mulkey was wearing the same sweater at a game that I bought for Erica. And so we did a side-by-side.
I did see that.
We did a side-by-side. I was like, who wore it better? And you know what some people said, Mom?
What?
Some people said Kim wore it better than Erica.
I would never vote against Erica.
Can you believe? I mean, look, I love Kim. Soft spot in my heart. But, I mean, he rocks a dime, right? And
That's right.
She's like 25 years younger, too. Yeah, 20 years younger. Ish. There it is. There it is right there on the screen. I mean, let's go. Who are you voting for? I'm just kidding. I love Kim Mulkey, too.
Why can I only see me?
Because we got this new software, StreamYard. It's Paul's fault. Paul's just the worst. He just actually, you know what? It's Muse's fault. It's got to be because Paul's actually the best. He's great, and Muse screws everything up. So whatever's going on right now, it can't be Paul's fault because Paul's great. I got to blame Muso for something he's doing wrong here. I don't know what it is, but he's doing something wrong.
He's doing a great job.
Thank you. See, I'm not even the video guy. Guys, it's my fault.
You're so bad, Muse, that you're screwing up the video guy. That's what's happening right now. I think, Muse, you came into the studio and you sabotaged Paulie. That's what happened.
I wouldn't do that.
Paulie, do you think that he would sabotage you?
He most definitely would.
Thank you. You see? And Mom, Paul would
What?
never lie. Like, Paul's like the nicest guy ever. He would never lie. Muse,
He has to work with you.
I know, right? Feel bad for him. But Muse, he's a squirrely little guy. He also around 420, Mom, has a habit that he has trouble kicking. You know what I mean? You know what I mean about 420 habit? You know what I mean?
No.
You don't know what I'm talking about?
No.
You know Puff and the Magic Dragon?
Matt.
You know what I mean?
You know, I never believe half of what you say.
Well, this should be in the half that you do believe.
No, it shouldn't.
How about that? Mama, this is has been enlightening again, as always.
Sorry, I couldn't tell you my upsets. I mean, I know I have some.
Why don't you just just look at something on the sheet and tell me something that you think looks weird.
Okay, let's see.
Here we go. This is going to be good. There's about a 3% chance she nails this. But still a percent chance.
Missouri and Drake.
Okay. Who do we have in the Missouri-Drake game?
Drake.
Okay. We'll take that. That's a 12-6 upset. Okay. Mama.
Okay.
No, I'm sorry. That's an 11-6 upset. We'll take that, Mama Scone.
Mm-hmm.
Why do you hate Missouri?
I don't hate Missouri.
Why do you like Drake?
I don't like or hate any of them.
Like the Drake? I was really hoping that she'd set my. I was setting myself for it, Muse. But you're not a Seinfeld guy, or you don't get it.
No, I get it. I'm
you're
Seinfeld.
okay.
Yeah.
I thought you're not a Seinfeld guy.
No, I am.
All right. Well, Mom, this has been great. Not really, but thanks. We appreciate it as always. I think the appeal of this segment for so many years is how truly awful it is. But people get to see and hear from you, and you're a sweetheart, and people love you. And then they look at me and they say, "What happened?" And I'm like, "Well, it's got to be Dad's fault."
I don't know. I tried my best.
Is it your fault or Dad's fault that it turned out the way that I am?
I have to say Dad.
Okay.
Because it's definitely not my fault.
I don't know, Mom.
But maybe it's just your fault.
So we're saying nature over nurture?
Yes.
Well, in that
but
case,
I still love you.
In that case, you're responsible for both the nature and the nurture. You know what I mean?
I'm responsible what?
For both the nature and the nurture.
Oh.
You know what I mean?
No.
Well, I am biologically your child. That's the nature component. So that is
right.
you. That is you. I am also your child. I was reared by you and Dad. That would be the nurture. So both the nature and the nurture point back to you.
Oh. I did my best.
I know.
At least 2 out of 3 turned out okay.
Hey, Nathan Allen sent on the text line, I'm with Mama Scone with the pick on Drake. He likes Drake with you. How can you not like the Drake?
Thank you.
Love the Drake. How can you not like the Drake? All right, Mom. I'm going to come over tonight and see Lily and the kiddos. I'm going to bring Drew.
Okay.
So we'll see y'all a little later tonight. Erica's got fair stuff she's got to take care of, so she's not coming. But I'll be over there with Drew.
All righty.
We'll add to your...
We'll see you later then. All right.
We'll add to your March Madness. How about that? We can break down the bracket.
All right.
You and I. We'll talk a little hoops. Tell me the thing that you love so much about watching basketball.
You mean the thing I hate the most?
The thing you hate
squeaky
the most.
shoes?
The squeaky shoes, no doubt. She can't stand the squeaky shoes.
The squeaky shoes. Can't stand those squeaky shoes.
She ever watches a game?
That's all you hear.
There it was. If she ever watches a game, she's got to watch it on mute. How does it sound again? Nailed it. All right, Mom. I love you. We'll see you tonight.
Love you too.
All right.
Bye.
Take care. Thank you. That's the one and only, the incomparable Mama Scone. It's AFR.
After further review.
We're brought to you by River City's 1 Hour Air, where they're always on time or you don't pay a dime. 752-0001, 752-0001 or 1hourbr.com. You know the drill, folks. Look for the big yellow vans and trucks with the giant clock on the side. You see them all over town. Remember, right now is the time. If you haven't done it yet, call River City's 1 Hour Air. Get that preseason AC tune-up. You know, right around the bend. It's 77 degrees right now. Before long, that 77 is going to be 97 with a heat index of 107. And while you can go inside, your AC doesn't get to. That thing sits outside on the side of your house. 100-degree weather, humidity, rain, bugs, dander, all of it never gets a break. You want to make sure it lasts not only through this summer, but for years and years and years to come. You got to do preventative maintenance. That's your preseason AC tune-up. Call River City's 1 Hour Air, 752-0001.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
The Windsor Senior Living Community in Mandeville, Louisiana is a beautiful, vibrant apartment community geared towards seniors. They are nestled right in the heart of Mandeville, where seniors live a more carefree lifestyle in spacious apartments with the peace of mind that comes from having a little extra help. Call the Windsor at 985-624-8040 to schedule a lunch and tour. Come see how the Windsor can be your passport to peace of mind.
ED, low T, or simply seeking to optimize your health and performance? Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness offers a range of discreet services to address your specific needs. We empower men to reclaim their health and confidence. Visit yourgoodwood.com.
Family owned and community driven.
Service Chevrolet Cadillac, a legacy you can trust since 1972. Service Chevrolet Cadillac, our family serving your family.
For over 50 years.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
When it comes to choosing energy for your family and your home, make the smart choice with natural gas. You can count on efficient and affordable natural gas to keep you comfortable and reduce your environmental impact to help protect our planet. Together, we're fueling our energy future. Atmos Energy.
Crime has serious consequences, but anyone can make a mistake. If you find yourself in trouble with the law, know that you have rights, and it's okay to demand them. The law offices of O.C. Brown are here to protect you and your rights. Felony or misdemeanor, DUI or drug charge. No matter what crime you're accused of, you still have rights. Let the law offices of O.C. Brown uphold them. Call 225-343-1111. Your law firm for a lifetime.
When you can't rely on technology, you can rely on Mountain Cold Refreshment. Dave's back on. Coors Light. Choose chill.
After further review, presented by Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness. Visit yourgoodwood.com.
Wrapping up hour number 2, presented by Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness. Muso, Tigers in the Pros.
Tigers in the pros. They still bleed purple and gold. They're just really rich now.
We'll begin with Austin Nola. There you go. Get it all out. Nola catching today for the Rockies in spring training. They're currently in the bottom of the 6th. That's bottom of the 6th. Nola 1 out of 2 so far on the day. The 1 is a single. He was stranded. Would not come around to score, unfortunately, there. Josh Smith.
I like this one, Muse.
Rangers and Mariners in the top of the 8th. Smitty currently 0 for 3. Has punched twice. Cooled down a little bit here as the spring has progressed. Played left field today. I think we're up to about 5 or 6 different positions that he's played so far this spring. Pretty entertaining stuff there. Alex Bregman, 1 out of 3 today for the Sox. Also drew a walk. The one was a double. That was his 3rd of the spring. So he sits at 333. Still doing quite well. Did strike out again today also. And last but not least, Trenton Watford, 11 points in 20 minutes off the bench. Had a pretty filthy and one that I tried to find a video of but couldn't. 5 of 9 from the floor, 4 assists. That's Tigers and Pros.
Hey, we're presented by Supper Club. I got to remind y'all, this Sunday. They're never open on Sundays, but they're open this Sunday at Supper Club. Remember, they're closed Sunday, Monday. They're open Tuesday to Saturday. But this Sunday, Supper Club is open this Sunday for one reason: Fork Cancer, benefiting the American Cancer Society. 25% of everything, not of profit, 25% of sales is going to Fork Cancer, benefiting the American Cancer Society. So if you've been waiting for an opportunity to get to Supper Club, get to Open Table, make your reservation, or supperclubbtr.com, supperclubbtr.com. Open this Sunday. See you there.
After further review.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected. Supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Baton Rouge's home for real rock. It's Eagle 98.1. Foo Fighters. Led Zeppelin. AC/DC. Pearl Jam. And the flagship home for LSU sports. Take us anywhere with the Eagle 98.1 app. Eagle 98.1 is the rock station.
Men, age is just a number. Don't let it dictate how you feel. Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness has anti-aging services that can help you look and feel your best. Visit yourgoodwood.com and discover a renewed sense of vitality.
Jerry and Benny Payne began Central Plumbing Company out of their driveway in Tanglewood subdivision. 50 years later and 4 generations down the road, we continue to serve Baton Rouge and the surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Residential, commercial, industrial, or hospitality, Central Plumbing is here 24/7, 365.
We want to thank our customers, family, and friends for 50 years of success.
And looking forward to 50 more.
Family owned and community driven.
Service Chevrolet Cadillac, a legacy you can trust since 1972. Service Chevrolet Cadillac, our family serving your family.
For over 50 years.
At Auctioner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Auctioner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one: you. Auctioner Andrews Institute. Long live you.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Christine Lisi. A significant change to NFL playoff seeding proposed by the Lions. Team with the best record in each conference, top overall seed. Then seeds 2 through 7 would be ordered strictly by record in the AFC and NFC. The Vikings moving past their discussions with free agent quarterback Aaron Rodgers. They've got J.J. McCarthy at the top of the depth chart. Minnesota could revisit Rodgers if he's unsigned, should McCarthy get hurt or show a need for more development time during summer practices. ESPN NFL analyst Booger McFarland.
I think it has nothing to do with Aaron Rodgers and more to do with J.J. McCarthy.
Okay.
I think everybody at this point knows what Aaron Rodgers is and what he's not and what he has a chance to be. I think if J.J.'s healthy, I think they feel really good about where J.J. can go.
Booger McFarland on Joe and Q. McCarthy's recovered from surgery on a torn MCL, an injury that sidelined him all of last season. Rodgers has standing offers from the Giants and the Steelers. McNeese men's basketball coach Will Wade's agreed to become the next coach at NC State, reports ESPN's Jeff Borzello. His Cowboys face Clemson in round 1 of the NCAA tournament tomorrow.
ESPN Radio is presented by Progressive Insurance. And now, a Progressive ad brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Drivers who switch to Progressive could save big with Progressive. This has been a Progressive ad from Progressive. See if you could save at 1-800-PROGRESSIVE or Progressive.com.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
Live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studio.
Let's ride!
Hour 3, off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us, AFR. Presented by Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness. I'm Matt.
Thanks, bud. I appreciate it.
Our bud, Paul O'Neill.
They're chanting Paul O'Neill's name.
Yes, sir. And Mr. Toby Tomplay. Sorry, I was looking at a thing. I was looking at a thing in a place to talk with the guy. All right, we're here. Glad you are as well. 5 o'clock quitting time. Glad you're driving home with us. And oh, by the way, it's hump day.
It's hump day.
Hit, hump day.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
Hump day.
Hump day.
Hump day.
It's hump day.
Just a little too slow to hit the beat on it. With the drop.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
What a day.
Hump day.
Will Wade back in the game.
It's hump day.
Mama Scone was here.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
Davon Godchaux was here.
Hump day.
Brandon Marcello will be here in 12 minutes.
It's hump day.
The Gevna is talking about the NHL in New Orleans.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
LSU beat UNO.
Hump day.
Sayonara.
It's hump day.
UNO.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
UNO, good baseball team. Say that much.
Day.
Nailed it.
It's hump day.
Mama Scone called Muse a pothead.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
She did not. Why are you going to lie to people like
Sounded
that?
like it.
She did not.
I don't know. Once we started talking about Puff of the Magic Dragon, she knew we were talking about. She said, yep. I always suspected that, Muse.
It's not what she said.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
Matthew Claude Musso.
Hump day.
And that's also not right.
It's hump day.
Paulie, is that right?
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
I believe so, yes.
See? Nailed it.
Hump day.
All right. Get rolling here. A good day. Good show. Got a lot I want to get to. We're going to talk to Brandon Marcello from CBS Sports in about 10 minutes. Has a good piece right now about the college football playoff contenders from the SEC in this spring. So we'll talk about that with Brandon in just a smidge. And I do want to, at the bottom of this hour, I want to talk about one remaining free agent that should be a pretty good target for the Saints. Bill Barnwell mentioned this at ESPN. Ross Jackson has a write-up on it at LouisianaSports.net. So we'll get to that in a second. But let me do this. Let me do a sort of a wraparound of the day, because this has been a really newsy day. And I understand it's 5 o'clock. A lot of people right now knocking off work. You're in the car heading home. Let's kind of hit some of the high points from the day. First and foremost, Will Wade is back in the game. If you haven't heard, Will Wade will be the new head coach at NC State. When he was asked earlier in the day if he had spoken to NC State yet, he said yes with a smile. Said he has been very open with his players about it. They've talked about it. And this was always a thing. Listen, Will Wade, the last time I saw Will in person was, I guess it's almost been about a year now. But I was over in Lake Charles, was doing a show. Our friends at Mockler, of course, who distribute Bud Light. Mockler acquired Southwest Bev there in Lake Charles, and I went and did a show there as they were kind of merging the companies, and they're a big supporter of McNeese State, and so Will came over. And he jumped on the show with us. We visited for a little while. And I remember talking to him, and the athletic director was there as well, and said point blank, this was a 2-year agreement. And also that Will had promised 2 years, something he said publicly. But the other thing, too, was when I was talking to Will Wade about how he was building his team, he was so transparent about it and saying, listen, we know what this is as a mid-major. We're going to get guys here for a year, train them, coach them, go have a great year, and then they're going to go get paid and go off to a Power 5 school. And while a lot of coaches push back against that, the thing that has made Will successful in this era and will make him well in any era is he's malleable. He'll change. And his willingness to embrace that and recruit to that, to say, hey, come to McNeese, play for a year. We're going to win a bunch of games. We're going to make the NCAA tournament, and we're going to make you better. And because of that, boom, you're going to have great opportunities at the Power 4 level next and go make money. And then what we'll do is go recruit the next one like that. The guy who started as Power 4 was the 8th guy, 9th guy on the bench. Come be a star here, get your minutes, and jump back in the Power 4 and make money. So Will's been very transparent about that and how he built it. And he's made that program a more desirable place than when he showed up 2 years ago, which is great. And now he's going to get a chance to go coach at NC State. He's going to make a pile of cash. Good for him. He's going to go to a place where they have resources that they'll invest into basketball because they care, unlike at LSU. And here's hoping he goes and crushes it. I'm pulling for him. I want him to do well. And I would really love to see him win a national championship so I could just buy a ticket and then go stare at Pat Forty the entire time and watch him weep, because he's been small-minded and weak throughout this entire thing, because Pat Forty got basically pile drive by the collective LSU fan base on Twitter during the whole Will Wade thing. And so he's sore is all it is. And Will Wade has come through it, despite the fact that he was scapegoated in an era where everyone was doing what he was doing. He got caught. Sucks for him. But he took his medicine, stayed a year out of basketball, went to McNeese, has crushed it for 2 years, and now he's got a great opportunity. And he'll thrive in this era at NC State, and I wish him all the best. So Will Wade will be the new head coach at NC State. The McNeese Cowboys play tomorrow against Clemson in a 12-5 matchup. I think they got a great chance to win that game. By the way, Clemson will be a conference opponent for them next year at NC State. A ton of other stuff going on. If you missed this, 5-star wide receiver Tristan Keys, the #1 wide receiver in the country for 2026, made a midweek visit to LSU last week. We talked about it with Shea Dixon from On 3, the Bengal Tiger. Tristan Keys committed to LSU today, just about an hour ago. Hayes Fawcett broke the news. We got a write-up at louisianasports.net. All this is there for you at louisianasports.net if you want it. It's a massive get for Brian Kelly, not only because it continues to help solidify this 2026 class. We've spent so much time talking about Louisiana, those top six to 10 guys in the state for 2026, keeping Richard Anderson committed, getting Lamar Brown on board, Blaine Bradford, the top guys in the state. You've got Bryson Martinez committed already. We haven't spent much time talking about the surrounding area guys outside of the state, but here you go. You get the 5-star #1 wide receiver in the country. That's in the composite ranking, by the way. So major get in a year where you're going to lose a ton of receiving talent. Chris Hilton, Aaron Anderson, Xavier Thomas, Nick Anderson likely is going to go after this year's 4th year in college. Berrien Brown be his one and done year at LSU. Bauer Sharp's a tight end, but as a pass catcher. So you're going to have to replenish your pass catchers in the next cycle, and now you got the best one in the country. So great job already by LSU getting ahead on that. Shea Dixon mentioned to us, this is a name you all may not know is Donovan Tate. So Donovan Tate was on LSU's support staff, recruiting staff. Well, when they had the shuffle internally and J.R. Belton moved up to director of football operations, Donovan Tate moved into J.R. Belton's old role of director of recruiting. Well, Donovan Tate's a guy in his mid-30s and is from Hattiesburg High. So a guy from that area, from that school, knows that area where Tristan Keys is from, helped build that pipeline, that relationship, and now looks like he'll be a Tiger. Got to hold on to him to next December. And there's going to, as we know with the Bryce Underwood situation, there's going to be poachers, and there's going to be a lot of schools that try to flip him. But a great get early on here anyway for LSU getting Tristan Keys, 5-star, number 1 receiver in the country in the class of 2026. All right, it's after further review. We're glad to have you aboard with us here. Brought to you by Parish Construction and Roofing, parishbuilt.com, parishbuilt.com. I tell you every day, do business with someone you know. I was by the office earlier today. One of the things, too, we love to have fun at the office. I did an Instagram video reel that's on Instagram and TikTok and Twitter, Facebook, everywhere. Just going around asking everybody in the office their favorite pie. We meshed it all together, and it's up if you want to go see it. So we have fun, but we also love what we do, and we love to take care of people. Look, if you go to the homepage of our website, parishbuilt.com, parishbuilt.com, you'll see this video on the homepage. It's Kim Mulkey doing a testimonial for Parish. We've done work for Coach, for members of her family. Like, she wouldn't put her name and face on that video on the front page of our website and on our ads if she wasn't thrilled with the work we did. We've taken care of her and her family. We do the same for you. We're a local business. We all live here, really throughout Louisiana. We got touch points throughout Louisiana. Our ops manager, my partner, Joe Morales, lives in River Ridge. We service the New Orleans area as well. We're about to go close on our brick and mortar location in New Orleans, so we'll have physical boots on the ground in the Crescent City every single day. Point is, no matter where you are in the state, you got roof issues, we love to help. Parish Construction and Roofing. Go to parishbuilt.com, parishbuilt.com, and do business with someone you know. Parish Construction and Roofing. That's parishbuilt.com. All right, y'all, it is after further review. Brandon Marcello is coming up here, CBS Sports. Talk about a little spring check-in for the college football playoff contenders from the SEC. And at the bottom of this hour, there's an unsigned, one of the top unsigned free agents in this class in the NFL. Bill Barnwell at ESPN thinks the Saints are a very plausible landing spot. I tend to agree with him on this, and so I'll tell you why here in about 15 minutes from right now. We're glad to have you aboard with us here. Our Hump Day shows are brought to you by Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness. We'll knock out a quick break, come back with Brandon Marcello of CBS Sports next.
AFR.
It's a great opportunity to remind you about Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness, our title sponsor here every Wednesday. Guys, if for whatever reason you're having a little bit of a holdup on making that call, on visiting the website, yourgoodwood.com, starting to go through that fact-finding process, whatever that hang-up is, I want you to check it at the door. If it's embarrassment, if it's maybe the unknown, you're thinking maybe it's too expensive to do HRT. Listen, they do HRT and they also do ED treatments. And maybe you have a problem with ED. They got multiple treatments. It's not just here's a prescription for some pills. They have that, but they got many other treatments as well. But hormone replacement therapy is what the overwhelming majority of the patients that come through Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness need. And the reality is what I tell you every day. All of us age. We age at different rates. So age isn't just a number. It's about how you feel. If you want to feel like your younger self, you want to regain that vitality, you can. And a simple blood test can let you know if you're a candidate. Check them out online, yourgoodwood.com.
It's not just a game, it's a religion. You've got your team colors, team swag, and now your very own website. LouisianaSports.net. Everything LSU, Saints, and Pelicans. Sports on demand. In-depth coverage by sports writing pros with continuously updated news. And with the LouisianaSports.net newsletter, you get pinged directly with top trending stories. Best of all, now and always, no paywall. It's free. LouisianaSports.net. Powered by 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge. Your home for Louisiana sports.
ED, low T, or simply seeking to optimize your health and performance? Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness offers a range of discreet services to address your specific needs. We empower men to reclaim their health and confidence. Visit yourgoodwood.com.
Family owned and community driven.
Service Chevrolet Cadillac, a legacy you can trust since 1972. Service Chevrolet Cadillac. Our family serving your family.
For over 50 years.
Jerry and Benny Payne began Central Plumbing Company out of their driveway in Tanglewood subdivision. 50 years later and 4 generations down the road, we continue to serve Baton Rouge and the surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Residential, commercial, industrial, or hospitality, Central Plumbing is here 24/7, 365.
We want to thank our customers, family, and friends for 50 years of success.
And looking forward to 50 more.
Crime has serious consequences, but anyone can make a mistake. If you find yourself in trouble with the law, know that you have rights, and it's okay to demand them. The law offices of O.C. Brown are here to protect you and your rights. Felony or misdemeanor, DUI or drug charge. No matter what crime you're accused of, you still have rights. Let the law offices of O.C. Brown uphold them. Call 225-343-1111. Your law firm for a lifetime. At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
After further review, presented by Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness. Visit yourgoodwood.com.
I'm glad you're rolling along with us here. Remember, you can always email us, tweet us, or text us in the 225-396-4400, 396-4400. Lots of ways you can get involved in the show. Brandon Marcello, good dudes, covered the SEC and college football for a really long time. He's over at CBS and 24/7. Good enough to join us here for a couple of minutes. How are you, man?
Doing well. How are you?
I'm doing awesome. Hey, let's you got a piece up right now over at CBS Sports for anybody who wants to read it. It's about the 5 teams that are legit contenders from the SEC for 2025. Let's just start from jump. What sort of inspired this right now at this point in the offseason?
Well, I'm still, I'm in football mode. I think a lot of us still are.
Yeah,
college football is my bag, and spring practices are going on. I think people have lost sight of that. The spring's been dominated by this idea of, well, spring games are going away and the transfer portal's opening back up in April, so not much matters right now. But we can still talk about these teams and their makeup and what they're looking like. And when you look at the bigger conferences, it's very clear the college football playoff contenders for next year are pretty clear to me. And among those teams in the SEC, to me, is LSU. I'm still a big believer in Brian Kelly, and boy, this offseason, they have just absolutely been winning with the way they've worked the transfer portal.
So why are you bullish on Kelly when many aren't?
Well, he's got a track record of winning big, winning double-digit games. I mean, last year was his first time having double-digit wins in a season, and it broke the longest streak in college football actively. And I think that he was missing some pieces there, obviously. And I think, in a lot of ways, this offseason, the best thing that could have happened to LSU was Bryce Underwood decommitting and going to Michigan, because I think it allowed LSU to reallocate their NIL money and help pull in these other blue-chip transfers out there, and then also focus on high school recruiting. I mean, heck, news just broke, obviously, with Tristan Keys, the number 1 receiver in the 24/7 sports class for 2026, committing to LSU. So things are good off the field for LSU when it comes to recruiting, and when you put all that talent together, at some point it's going to click, and when you've got a quarterback coming back in Garrett Nussmeier, I think this is the year that we see LSU get back to double-digit wins and back in the playoff hunt.
Yeah, I think you kind of hit the bullseye on what stirred a lot of people around here into action. When you look at LSU, what do you see as maybe the biggest weakness or question mark on this team that could prevent it potentially from being a playoff team?
Well, listen, everything's about the trenches in major college football, and losing 4 starters, I believe, along that offensive front gives concern, no matter who you're bringing in, right, to replace those guys. When you have to get guys to gel together, come together, and be able to play through a season, and also deal with some nicks and bruises and then some injuries that'll hold guys out from time to time, that's crucial. That's critical in the SEC. And, I mean, listen, there's like no breaks anymore for SEC teams. I mean, heck, LSU is going to open the season at Clemson. So, I mean, this is the type of team, though, that I think is built very well elsewhere that's going to be able to kind of cover up some of those things. And when you've got Garrett Nussmeier at quarterback, he's a leading returning passer. He's someone who's got that veteran leadership that's going to be able to go out there and maybe make up for some of the early weaknesses in this team as it comes together. But I will say this, that offensive line last year was the best in sack production. And for that, I mean, protection. They only allowed 15 sacks last year, which is the best in the SEC. So you would think that probably takes a step back this year, replacing all those starters. And you got to count on Garrett Nussmeier to get you out of some bad situations.
Brandon Marcello is with us. The two that would be obvious are two teams that made the playoff a year ago in Georgia and Texas, where everyone just assumes rinse repeat with those two teams. Is it that simple, Brandon, where we should all just be there as rinse repeat, or are there reasons to think maybe those two teams might regress?
The thing that worries me about Georgia is that, 15 starters are gone. And we're so accustomed to Georgia just reloading. But Georgia took a half step back last year. I don't think there's any argument against that. And so when you lose the starters from that team and you're having to reload from that, are you expecting all of those backups or guys lifted up into full-time starters to be better than the guys they replaced immediately? That gives me some pause there. But then I look at the development of the players they have, because they're one of those programs that's been able to keep high school recruits on campus, develop them so they can step in. These are high five-star guys that they're able to keep on campus and develop. Plus, they did a great job in the transfer portal this year, getting guys like Zachariah Branch, Micah Bell, Noah Thomas, that are some big-time receivers. And that was Georgia's weakness last year. Way too many drop passes, something we had not accustomed to seeing from Georgia receivers. So they went out and got some impressive receivers from the transfer portal to help everything out as they start this new era without Carson Beck at quarterback.
It's also interesting, though, because I mentioned Georgia and Texas, who are both playoff teams. Well, so is Tennessee, but you don't have Tennessee on your list of the 5 teams you're likely to be in the playoff, or the best shot to make the playoff. You do have Tennessee and Florida as wild cards to watch, but why is Tennessee outside looking in here?
I hem and haw between Tennessee and Ole Miss, right? And the thing with me with Tennessee is that I could see them losing 4 games, or I could see them going 10-2 or 11-1. But their margin for error is wider than what I see with Ole Miss and LSU with the schedule they have. I mean, Tennessee's in a situation where they have to go to Alabama, they have to go to Florida, and Tennessee under Josh Heupel, for whatever reason, has been the type of program that stubs its toe somewhere. It doesn't have a really great, impressive performance on the road somewhere. So I worry about that. I worry about them obviously having to play Georgia. I also worry about them having to go to Kentucky, which may sound weird, but that does concern me. Are they going to stub their toe and have a 3rd or 4th loss? So Tennessee right now, I put on barely on the edge there in the periphery.
So you mentioned the other team that you hemmed and hawed was Ole Miss. So why then Ole Miss in?
Yeah, we've been fooled twice by them, right? Thinking that they're going to be a playoff team. And listen, I'm a fool. I'm going to fall for them again. I'm going to do it. Lane Kiffin is the portal king for a reason, and they once again reloaded there. I like the way that offense is kind of plug and play for a lot of their guys coming in. I do wonder about the defensive line. I mean, you can't just lose guys like Walton Nolan and Princely and just kind of expect everything to be okay. But you got Perkins coming back, who had 10.5 sacks. So I almost refer to Ole Miss as like a mini Alabama or mini Georgia in a lot of ways, where they just kind of are able, in this point in the Lane Kiffin era, to kind of just reload. And I do wonder if Kiffin now has been able to kind of course correct some things and get some things back in order. Also, I'll say this, their schedule is pretty conducive to having another 10 or 11 win season this year. They have to go on the road to Georgia and Oklahoma this year, but guess what? They don't have to deal with the likes of Alabama or Texas on the schedule this season. So I like their schedule, and it sets up very well for them to make a push to get into the playoffs.
Brandon Marcello from CBS Sports, of course, 24/7 as well, all part of the same family. Okay, so the one then that I would look at kind of cross-eyed is Alabama, who you have in there.
Yeah.
I think there's still people defaulting to the jersey. Why is Bama there?
Well, I think I'm a big believer in Ryan Grubb, number one, as an offensive coordinator, and I do think that Kalen DeBoer was missing something there, not having his right-hand man on the staff. I mean, they've been together for the better part of the last 20 years, and they weren't together last year. And now he's coming in to coordinate an offense where I think last year they were trying to push Jalen Milroe to do things that he's not necessarily comfortable with in that offense. And now that Ryan Grubb's coming in, they feel really good about Ty Simpson and the others being able to kind of mold that offense around what they do well, but it also is a type of quarterback that Ryan Grubb's able to work with and do so with a lot of success. And I do think that we do fall in love with the logo a little bit. I do too, but you can't, look down on all of the talent they have and have built up through high school recruiting, but of course also the transfer portal. They still have an amazing amount of talent. You look at ESPN's SP Plus ratings, they're number 2 in the nation when you combine all of that, the talent, the records they've had, and everything. So I'm still very high on Alabama, and to be quite honest, they got a pretty good schedule. They do have to go to Georgia. They do have to go to Auburn. They're 2 big rivals, but they get LSU at home. They get Oklahoma at home that upset them this past season. I kind of like Alabama going into year 2 of Kalen DeBoer.
It's going to be fascinating to see. I don't, by the way, just for the record. But I didn't like him last year either. But it's going to be that's going to be a fascinating one that everyone's going to watch, the evolution of that Alabama program with Nick now in year 2 out. Brandon Marcello, of course, CBS Sports 24/7. It's good to catch up, man. It's never a bad time. Talk a little college football, man. We appreciate you for jumping aboard.
Absolutely. Appreciate you.
Be well. It's After Further Review. I'll get Brandon on Twitter at X at @BMarcello. If you want to give him a follow, make sure you do it there. It's After Further Review. We're brought to you by First South Farm Credit, FirstSouthLand.com, FirstSouthLand.com. Thinking of buying land? Your first call should be to First South Farm Credit. That's FirstSouthLand.com, FirstSouthLand.com. Your first call, your first in agriculture. I mean, farmers have known in this state for more than 100 years. First in agriculture is First South Farm Credit. They game to help you finance your ag equipment as well, your farm equipment. You want to buy that 100 acres, 200 acres, that hunting property, First South Farm Credit can help you do it. Even if it's in Mississippi or Texas or anywhere, they can help you finance land in any of the lower 48. So you want to deal with local people who live where you live, work where you live, play where you play, who talk like you talk, who can help you through that process. Like so many times people who buy land already own land, so you want to take some equity from the land you own, roll it into your new property, you can. First South Farm Credit can help you do it. FirstSouthLand.com. That's FirstSouthLand.com. All right, y'all, it is After Further Review. Glad to have you hanging out with us here. Thanks to Brandon for jumping aboard with us. Look, I'll tell you, it's not just a singular Alabama piece. Like, I'll disagree with him on Ole Miss as well. My contention, which is something that I said about Bama last year, same thing I believe about Ole Miss and Ohio State this year, and that I will say next year about LSU, if it goes the way that I think it's going to go. You can't turn over half your roster in 1 year and not miss a beat. You know, Brian Kelly's talked about that a little bit when he talks about the numbers and how they've started to piece together the percentages of their roster. He feels like there has to be a 55% base, is what he said. He reiterated that this past Saturday. So where a little over half your roster is built by your high school recruiting and guys that stay. So that still feels light to me. And that just may be the way it goes, that you're going to have this half the year turnover, and every year it's going to be about building new culture internally and filling the gaps and pieces you need. But I don't know how you just have that much of a turnover, especially with key guys. Like maybe Simmons at Ole Miss, the quarterback, is fantastic. He certainly looks like a special talent. But Jackson Dart was a fifth-year player. How do you just take that much production, Trey Harris, all away from the team? You know, how much they invest in building the trenches. You take those guys, and they blew it. They went 9-3. They shouldn't have lost the game, quite honestly. They had no business losing at home to Kentucky. They didn't trail at LSU until overtime. They blew that game. And then Florida, they were 3 times in the red zone where they went for it on fourth down instead of kicking field goals, it would have won the game. They'd have been 12-0. Ole Miss should have been in the playoff. They blew it. They blew it. And that can happen. But I think now they regress. And I think the same like we saw last year with Alabama. You don't lose Nick Saban and half your roster and maintain. They went 9-3, lost the bowl game, finished 9-4. That's uncomfortable. Now you lose Jalen Milroe. You got nothing at quarterback. You can tell me all you want about Ryan Grubb, but Ryan Grubb with Kalen DeBoer at Washington is a dramatically different experience than going through a 12-game gauntlet in the SEC. So y'all know where I stand on it. I'll stand corrected if we're here at the end of November going into December and Bama's a playoff team and Ole Miss is a playoff team and LSU sitting there at 8-4. If that's the case, and I'll be dead wrong. But, man, I look at the teams. I always look at that. Who's got the most questions against the most least questions against the most manageable schedule? And I think those teams have massive questions with what the turnover that I put Ohio State in that mix this year as well. All right, it's after further review. You want to join us, you can. Email us, tweet us, text us. Lots of ways you can get involved in the show. Hump Day Show is brought to you by Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness. We'll now got a quick break. When we come back, one of the top free agents remaining on the market, there's a piece that has him geared toward the Saints, and I think it's actually a pretty good idea. We'll talk about it next on AFR.
AFR.
Brought to you by the Watermark Hotel and the Renaissance, Watermark Downtown, Renaissance Southtown. Of course, the Watermark Downtown Baton Rouge, voted by you the best hotel in the best 225. Renaissance Southtown there on Bluebonnet, across the Mall of Louisiana and Perkins Road. Giant sprawling property. If you've never stepped foot inside of Renaissance Baton Rouge, you got to do it. Whether it's a little staycation and you want a night maybe away from the kiddos, just to have a night out and go eat at Perkins Row, read at Tallulah inside of the Renaissance Supper Club, which is right down the street on Perkins. Stay there at the Renaissance, have a glass of wine, a cocktail at Tallulah inside the Renaissance. So many of the great amenities that they have. The pool, which is the weather's getting nicer, will be opening up as well. And you go to the top floors and just these amazing views of the entire city. If you go to the top of the Renaissance, it's really awesome. Renaissance Baton Rouge right there on Bluebonnet. Of course, if you got an event coming up here in 2025, call Allison Crump over at Renaissance Baton Rouge. She'll help get it scheduled. Tons of meeting space they can accommodate. Renaissance Baton Rouge.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
You work hard every day to pursue a life you love. You put in the time, and it shows. You're forging ahead, chasing a dream, creating something better for the ones you love. You're building your own life. So why not build your own tractor? With John Deere tractors and attachments for almost any need, the Sunshine team can help you do just that. Check out our current promotions and learn more about what it means to be powered by Sunshine at sunequip.com.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected. Supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team. And backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Men, age is just a number. Don't let it dictate how you feel. Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness has anti-aging services that can help you look and feel your best. Visit yourgoodwood.com and discover a renewed sense of vitality.
At Auctioner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Ochsner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one: you. Ochsner Andrews Institute. Long live you.
After further review, presented by Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness. Visit yourgoodwood.com.
I'm glad you're with us here, man. Been a really good day. Got a lot of breaking news today. Congrats, Will Wade, be the new head coach at NC State. If you missed Davon Godchaux, he was here in hour number 1. Great convo with former Tiger, now current Saint. Joined us from his home in Florida. It was a really fun convo. If you want to go watch that entire convo, it's up on the AFR Saints YouTube channel, or you can listen however you get podcasts. Just search AFR Saints, and it's right there. You can get everything on demand for free, audio or video, however you want it. AFR on demand, presented by Breck Golf. So book your tee time at golf.breck.org. The Saints have been active in free agency, and all of their cap gymnastics freed up the space to allow them to do that, to re-sign guys like Chase Young and Juwan Johnson and bring in a guy like Justin Reed. And they continue to be active, and they have money to spend still. And if you're going to look at the roster right now and go, okay, where's a spot where they still desperately need an answer? It's very clearly at left guard. I mean, you feel like your tackle situation is good with your 2 recent draft picks with Fuanga and Penning. Jury's out on Penning, I get it, but he started every game at right tackle for you last year. You're good with McCoy. You got Ruiz at right guard, but left guard was the revolving door. And Lucas Patrick was the guy who kind of settled there last year, but he had an injury-plagued season. Now he's a free agent. He's testing the market. So you need an answer right there, and honestly, you need stability, youth. You need an upgrade. Well, Tevin Jenkins is a name that popped up, and Bill Barnwell did a write-up of the best remaining free agents out there, and Jenkins is a guy who played collegiately at Oklahoma State and was a second-round pick of the Chicago Bears. He went highly. I mean, he was, as Barnwell notes, went ahead of Sam Cosmi, Aaron Banks, both of whom have signed pretty significant second contracts. So this is a guy who is a starting caliber lineman that you're not going to have to break the bank to sign. That would be an upgrade over the current options that you have. Now, you could always go into the draft and draft a lineman. Maybe Will Campbell sitting there at 9 and the Saints like him at guard. Then you have a plug-and-play guy at guard, at left guard at number 9, and you've improved your offensive line to help protect Derek Carr. I don't hate that idea. I think that's a really good idea. And then even potentially, if it doesn't work with Trevor Penning at right tackle, Campbell could potentially play right tackle. I don't have the arm length concern that a lot do. But if the Saints are looking at potentially nabbing a free agent offensive lineman to fill that left guard spot, that's a young veteran who's not going to break the bank, Tevin Jenkins could make a lot of sense. Like, when he got drafted, Matt Eberflus, who was the coach of the Bears at the time, don't hold that against him, but Eberflus back in 2022, this was August of 22, talked about the potential that Tevin Jenkins had.
Tevin's smart. He's very smart, very athletic player, and one of my mentors said this, and I believe this, and he ingrained it into my mind, is that you never put a ceiling on a player. So you might have, you always have to watch out that as a coach, you don't put a ceiling on him. Let him grow, okay? Let him do his thing, because some people mature and grow at different times. And all of a sudden, they just grow into a player, and grow into a really good NFL player. And that's for any position. We're never going to put ceilings on guys. We're always going to think the best for every player. That's, the sky's the limit for you, and we're coaching every single player on the roster that way.
I mean, this is a guy who, during his career, has been a player that probably, it's fair to say, as a second-round pick, hasn't reached his potential. And but can he reach it? potential that allowed him to be a second-round pick. That when Mike Gundy had him back in 2020, talked about what he thought his long-term potential was. Listen to this.
Tevin is an interesting young man. He doesn't even know how good he is. He doesn't know how much he's worth. If you just want me to call it like it is. He's uncharacteristically strong, and he has tremendous feet. He's got good leverage. He's highly intelligent, and his work ethic is getting better this year. You know, I was serious but somewhat joking with him in the weight room when there'd be a bunch of guys working out, and I said, you know, Tevin, can you name the one person in this weight room that's worth $40 million? You know, and he looks at me, you know, like I'm trying to give him a haircut or something, and he says, no. And I said, if you decide to work really hard. That's the kind of talent that he has. And if he just gets his mind focused on that's what I want to do, that's the level that he can get to.
You know, Jenkins, I mean, look, that was in 2020 when Mike Gundy said that. And so now you have a guy who's 27 years old, so still very much in his physical prime, who has played in 45 career games with 38 career starts. As a rookie, he only played in 6 games. But since then, he's been a consistent starter the last 3 seasons and would be relatively affordable for you. Now, for whatever it's worth, the New Orleans Saints currently have $31 million in cap space. This is a big part of all the cap gymnastics they did to free up cap space. So you got $31 million in cap space available. He's a guy that's 27 years old that has been a starter and could still be a starter. And you look at him right now as an unrestricted free agent. You know, for whatever this is worth, and take it for what it's worth, you know, Spotrac puts his calculated market value at $10.3 million per year. So a 3-year, $31 million. This is effectively the same contract that New Orleans just gave to Juwan Johnson. So I don't hate the idea if you're not going to go draft a starter at guard. And if you don't believe Nick Saldiveri is ever going to be that guy, right? You used a 4th-round pick on Nick Saldiveri a few years back, and he got some run at guard this past season, like a lot of the guys did. There was a lot of injuries, so you had a bit of a revolving door. But if this is a guy with a higher ceiling, who maybe a change of scenery could help, that would be an affordable starter, an upgrade over what you had. I don't hate the idea of going out and signing a guy like Tevin Jenkins on the offensive line. So something worth watching here in this sort of second wave of free agency. You had all the big initial wave moves. That second wave will come, you know, leading up to the draft, and then you'll have another wave of free agent signings after the draft when you see what needs teams still have. So just want to file away and keep an eye on with Tevin Jenkins, former Bears second-round pick, who's a free agent right now. All right, y'all, it is After Further Review. We're brought to you by South Point Volkswagen and SouthPointVW.com. New and certified pre-owned in Baton Rouge and online at SouthPointVW.com, SouthPointVW.com. Check them out online or go test drive one today. Go see Kelly and Mr. Bill and Mr. Bob and the whole crew over there. Brad, awesome people over at South Point. They've been great to me over the many years that Eric and I have been buying vehicles from South Point Volkswagen. Of course, I've been telling you about them, and you know, we're bullish on the Volkswagen line because of everything I say every day. You get great German engineering, high-performing vehicles that perform and feel and style like luxury, but that are cost-efficient. You know, you get them affordably. They're safe, which is of the utmost importance to me. And you're also supporting American jobs because Volkswagen opened a manufacturing facility in Chattanooga, Tennessee. I mean, if you've ever driven up to the Smoky Mountains, you passed it going through Tennessee from Louisiana. So that's where these vehicles are made. So you're supporting American jobs as well. South Point Volkswagen. Airline just north of Highland or SouthPointVW.com. South Point Volkswagen, what's your direction? One thing very quickly, we'll break it to Otter Locks. We'll keep an eye on this with the NFL owners meetings coming up next month. The Lions have proposed a pretty significant change to the NFL seeding for the playoffs. Effectively, the division winners would still get an automatic bid to the playoffs, but the top 4 seeds wouldn't be the division winners. The number 1 seed would be best record division winner, of course. But after that, the rest of the teams would be seeded by record and not the top 4 division winners. So This was proposed a few years ago by the Chargers, didn't get a lot of traction. The Lions are set to propose it again at this year's NFL owners meeting. So we'll see if there's any more movement for it. It's March 30th through April the 2nd are the owners meetings down in West Palm. Our Ross Jackson will be there covering it for LouisianaSports.net. But we'll see if there's any movement there. I would endorse it. It's the same reason with the college postseason. It was absurd giving Boise State and Arizona State buys in the field because they won bad leagues. Let the regular season set the postseason based on merit. And you win your league, or in this case, you win your division in the NFL, you get an auto bid, cool. You're in the playoffs if you win your division. I'm with that. But seeding needs to be more equitable. All right, it's after further review, y'all. Let me knock out our final break. Hump Day shows are brought to you by Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness. We'll come back. Jimmy will be here for Otter Locks. Stick around.
AFR.
The Advanced Turnaround Group, something I'm proud to tell you about because we are in turnaround season right now, y'all. March to October is turnaround season. The Advanced Turnaround Group is a name that you got to know. With the Advanced Turnaround Group, complete separate set of resources over at Action Industries. These are the same people at Action, but just with workers that are proficient in turnaround work. You have turnaround managers, turnaround coordinators, and by the way, they also go above and beyond at the Advanced Turnaround Group. 24-hour availability for emergencies. They offer specialty welding with the Advanced Turnaround Group. And, of course, you're going to get the personalized attention like we always talk about with Action Industries. These are people whose entire careers are centered around turnaround work. So if you want to learn more, go to Action Industries, actionindinc.com. You'll see the Advanced Turnaround Group tab. You can learn more about the Advanced Turnaround Group. Next time your turnaround's around, you're ready to bid the job, think the Advanced Turnaround Group over at Action Industries.
At Luba Workers' Comp, our journey began over 30 years ago with a simple belief. Our clients come first.
At Luba, our business has always been focused on people, not policies.
Through every success and challenge, we've continued to grow because we've stayed true to our values, committed to providing you with genuine dependability.
Because your well-being is more than a priority. It's our purpose.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
ED, low T, or simply seeking to optimize your health and performance? Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness offers a range of discreet services to address your specific needs. We empower men to reclaim their health and confidence. Visit yourgoodwood.com.
Crime has serious consequences, but anyone can make a mistake. If you find yourself in trouble with the law, know that you have rights, and it's okay to demand them. The law offices of O.C. Brown are here to protect you and your rights. Felony or misdemeanor, DUI or drug charge. No matter what crime you're accused of, you still have rights. Let the law offices of O.C. Brown uphold them. Call 225-343-1111. Your law firm for a lifetime.
Jerry and Benny Payne began Central Plumbing Company out of their driveway in Tanglewood subdivision. 50 years later and 4 generations down the road, we continue to serve Baton Rouge and the surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Residential, commercial, industrial, or hospitality, Central Plumbing is here 24/7, 365.
We want to thank our customers, family, and friends for 50 years of success.
And looking forward to 50 more.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
After further review, presented by Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness. Visit yourgoodwood.com.
Down the stretch we come, final segment here on this Hump Day edition of AFR, presented by Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness. One thing left to do. Let's find out what we're betting on tonight. Time for Otter Locks.
Otter Locks.
All right, time to win some money.
Presented by Total Maintenance. Now's the time to get that AC unit checked before it really gets hot. Normally $179, just $79 when you mention Otter Locks. Total Maintenance, 480-1000.
I think it's safe to say that I won the bet.
Otter, how are you?
Go. How are we? Come on. That's March Madness, baby.
Let's go, man.
Calm before the storm. A little apple. Those little, the chef sent this out, this little taste of something, So that's where we are right now with these first fours. But a good start for the game that we posted on LouisianaSports.net. Mount St. Mary's up to a 5-point lead, closed out at plus 2.5. And leading scorer for American, Matt Rogers. Now, this is kind of on a sad note, but went down with a knee injury. He headed to the locker room. I cannot believe they let him actually play 2 more possessions before they pulled him from the floor. But 15-14 to go in the first half, 15-10, Mount St. Mary's over American.
Okay.
Xavier in Texas tonight. This is one guy that's won a lot of games in the tournament. The guy that's about to get fired. 16 teams in the SEC. One team is going to fire their coach this year, and that will be the Texas Longhorns. I think this will be his last game tonight. Xavier has finished strong. They went through one little hiccup during the schedule earlier this year, and that's when one of their key players were out. This is all about a mismatch on the bench. We'll go with the Muskies minus the 2.5 over the Longhorns.
All right, Xavier. All right.
And then the Pistons. The Pistons do their last game. Matt, do you recall?
You got me, man. I wasn't watching the Pistons last time out.
Pelicans? Did you watch the Pelicans last time out?
Oh, God.
They played the Pistons.
Oh, my God. Was that the game Sunday? Was that the game Sunday night?
46.
No, that wasn't Sunday night. Whose it was? It was the Spurs. I didn't watch the Pistons game. I was watching Sunday night with the Spurs. Went outside in the outdoor kitchen, made a steak, grilled a steak, watched the Pelicans play the Spurs, and I thought to myself, Otter, I've got to be the only moron watching this game right
now. 46, the Pelicans lost to the Pistons. Point is, they're going against the Heat tonight, and look, the Heat, we've been just going against them every time. I mean, they have gone out of their way. They played their way out of first place in the weak Southeast Division. First and second place have losing records as well. The Heat, I see it, Charlie. The Hawks and the Magic. Charlie's letting me know that Matt Rogers is back on the court. So we're a team effort over here.
Y'all are such an old married couple, man. Y'all are such an. I see it, honey. Yes, I see that he's back. I'm on the phone. I see that he's back on the floor. I'll be there in a minute. Order me the crab cakes.
Pistons minus the points against the Heat tonight. One team's trying, one team's not. That's where we're going.
All right.
Charlie didn't have the crab cakes. What did Charlie have today? Oh, char-grilled oysters.
There it is.
Across on the courtyard over at Mahoney's earlier today.
Hey!
Chamber of Commerce Day. They had a tour bus from people from Indiana, some kind of senior citizen bus, and the tour bus driver just he didn't realize he had to, they were going to stop for about 20 minutes. He left them for about an hour, so we mingled with the senior citizen tour bus in the courtyard.
He just left them for an hour? What did he go? Did he go to the outlet mall down the road?
Yeah, I don't know. Yes, he went to Gulfport.
What in the world? Oh, my God.
Yeah, you mind if I take this chair? Well, that's my laptop. We're sweating these baseball totals, man. But no, you sit down.
Have at it, Maud. All right, Otter and Hanny live at lunch. They're over at the Bow throughout the first round of the tournament, so catch them 11-1 on 104.5.
Picks galore tomorrow, brother. Picks galore.
Picks galore. We'll do what we can to keep up over at LouisianaSports.net as well. Make sure you're locked into Otter Locks tomorrow and live at lunch with Jimmy and Charles, 11 to 1.
I see him, Charlie. I see him.
Order me the crab cakes. See ya. Have a good night.
Peace.
That's Jimmy Ott. All right, it's after further review. Hump Day shows brought to you by Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness, yourgoodwood.com, yourgoodwood.com. We appreciate our friends over there. It's awesome. Helping men and women regain their vitality. I'm telling you, couldn't be more bullish on this. Just get out of your own way, book an appointment, go do the blood test. It's simple. Before you leave the office, you'll know your hormone levels, and they'll tell you a treatment plan to get you feeling better again. yourgoodwood.com, yourgoodwood.com. All right, it's going to do it for us. Remember, if you missed anything, AFR On Demand, presented by Breck Golf, a podcast or on YouTube, audio, video, whichever you want. Muse, Paulie, thanks. Y'all have a great night. See you tomorrow at 3.
AFR.
Now, sit here in studio, and we got these big screens up there, and then you got the little crawl at the bottom. Or you ever have trouble watching March Madness whenever you know what's going to happen tomorrow, right? You can have your games on, and then up in the corner, they're going to have the little box with the rotating scores from all the other regions if you want to keep up with the game, right? You know exactly what I'm talking about. You going to be able to see those boxes with the rotating scores? I will, because I got superhuman vision thanks to Dr. Blake Williamson. I went to the Williamson Eye Center. I had LASIK with Dr. Blake Williamson almost 6 years ago, and it is one of the best decisions I ever made in my life, outside of marrying Eric and having Drew and all the things that, of course, are paramount in life. I wish I had done it sooner. I could kick myself for not doing it sooner, but in everyone's perfect timing, right? God's perfect timing. But Dr. Blake came into my life, showed me why LASIK was a great option, and it has been life-changing. You want to get rid of contacts and glasses forever and just see? Dr. Blake Williamson can make that happen. 924-2020.
At Auctioner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Auctioner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one. You. Auctioner Andrews Institute. Long live you.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
You gotta believe in a dream. Believe. You gotta believe in a dream.